Freethought Project reports that Cannon posted a photo of himself and Hustle to Instagram Monday, noting that Hustle will never be silenced and that he, Cannon, is going to pick up the baton to finish this marathon. Hustle was gunned down in front of his Los Angeles clothing shop Sunday afternoon. He had been working on a documentary about Dr. Sebi and his claims of curing cancer and AIDS, which caused many to speculate that the documentary was the reason for Hustle's murder. Cannon, on Instagram posts, proudly exclaimed that, quote, "They can't kill us all," end quote, and there is, quote, "unfinished king business," end quote. A pro-Israel New York lawmaker has prompted outrage by tweeting that Palestine does not exist, drawing criticisms of racism and Islamophobia. The Mind Unleashed reports the incendiary comments have come under heavy fire on Twitter, and accusations of Islamophobic hypocrisy have been directed at U.S. officials, who have failed to denounce the comments in the same way they denounced Democratic Representative Ilhan Omar. Brooklyn Councilmember Coleman Yeager tweeted, quote, "Palestine does not exist. There, I said it again. Also, Congresswoman Omar is an anti-Semite. Said that too," end quote. Yeager's remark was part of a Twitter exchange with a blog writer. The author of the blog slammed the pro-Israel lawmaker for calling Congresswoman Omar an anti-Semite. Yeager hit back by repeating the racist trope that Palestine does not exist. The remark, along with the notion that there is no such thing as a Palestinian people, is part of a racist narrative that has been used to deny 11 million Palestinians their right to self-determination. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
It's the Onion Radio News. A family of 5 is found alive in the suburbs. This is Doyle Redland reporting. The Holzapfel family, long feared missing or spiritually dead, was found alive in the Chicago suburb of Buffalo Grove today, somehow managing to survive in the hostile environment for more than 8 years. Rescuers discovered the 5-person clan after a survey plane spotted a signal fire from a barbecue grill. To protect themselves from the elements during their long ordeal, the Holzapfels fashioned a 3-bedroom ranch-style lean-to with brick facing and white aluminum siding. Paramedic Mary Gill was first on the scene.
They were all suffering from severe cultural malnutrition.
The Holzapfels have been returned to civilization for now, though trips to the Art Institute of Chicago and a nice Peruvian restaurant intended to reacquaint them with urban living have been met with confusion and resistance. Doyle Redland for the Onion Radio News, online at theonion.com.
Free Talk Live.
It's Free Talk Live. You dial toll free to join us here. If you want to get on the radio with us, you can talk about whatever happens to be on your mind. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We do have the Discord on-air call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm. So jump into one of those. You'll sound almost like you're sitting here in the studio tonight as you join us to talk about whatever you want to discuss. So, of course, there's a lot in the news that we could be discussing here tonight. Your calls and thoughts are certainly welcome. On the way, we're going to be discussing the sanctuary gun counties, as I understand it. And Laurel,
Second Amendment sanctuaries.
Yeah, which is very, very interesting. Which I want to discuss because we touched on it previously when Sarah, actually from New Mexico, had called in to complain about this happening. She had complained that sheriffs across New Mexico, and she said like 29 out of 30 something. So
29 out of 30 counties?
Yeah,
sounds about right.
Super majority of them were refusing to enforce the new laws that the New Mexico legislature had put on the books. I don't remember exactly what they were. It might have been like the red flag thing or whatever the new gun control ideas were, old new ideas, were out in New Mexico. And she was frustrated because these sheriffs were refusing, like coming on the record, refusing to enforce these laws.
And this is happening all across the country.
That I did not know. That's what
Yes.
that's the new information that you've brought me tonight, is that this is a thing. It wasn't just a pushback in New Mexico. So you've been following this, Laurel?
It's basically an organized rebellion. A lot of newspapers are calling it a rebellion. And it is local sheriffs and local elected officials in counties. So far, some of the places where this is happening are Washington State, Oregon, Colorado, Illinois, New Mexico, North Carolina, and it's spreading. More and more places are starting to do this. And it's local police are basically, in a lot of cases, asking the people to put this to a vote to give them permission as the police not to enforce recently passed gun laws in their state. And it almost doesn't matter, which laws it is that they're protesting, because it's going to vary a little bit by state, and there's some red flag laws in a few places. They're not refusing to enforce all gun laws whatsoever, just the ones that they find more restrictive. For example, in some places, they've raised the age where you can own a firearm from 18 to 21.
Oh.
So in some of those places, the police are saying, we are not going to confiscate guns.
If we see somebody with a gun, we
who's
think they're under
18,
21.
19, or 20. Yeah.
We're not going to ask them any questions.
Nope.
Okay.
They're saying they're not going to enforce it.
Well, I love this. I'm glad to see that it's happening, and glad to see that it's spreading. I mean, I wish it would have happened sooner and on other issues like, the war on drugs, for instance. But these sheriffs, a lot of them obviously understand the right to bear arms. Many of them, whereas maybe they don't understand other rights, like the right to bear plants, for instance. But regardless, it's good to hear it happening, and I think it's an interesting counterpoint, or if you want to even say counterpoint, it's also, I think, complementary to, in a way, to the sanctuary city for immigration purposes.
It's modeled
sanctuary
after
counties.
that, and that's why they're calling them sanctuaries. They're modeling them after the immigration sanctuaries. So the thing that they have in common, even though one is more of a conservative, if you will, and the other is more of a leftist type of thing, the thing that they have in common is both of them are rebelling against over-centralization. They're saying, we want our laws at the local level. We want to do what we as our community want to do. So that's something that they
Or
have
at least
in
what the
common.
sheriff wants to do in that
Well, the
case.
communities are backing them up.
Okay. Well, not all of them have had a vote on this, right?
Right.
This is just the sheriff. I mean, the sheriff's an elected position, so you could look at it from that perspective of, well, if the community doesn't like it, they can just boot this person out and put in somebody who is promising to enforce the laws.
Well, in a lot of these places, they are organizing this in advance of the new gun laws taking effect. So they're planning ahead, and they're
so the
getting
sheriffs are announcing, saying these laws are coming, but we're not going to enforce them.
They're announcing, please pass something so that we don't have to enforce it.
Please not pass it, because we're talking about new laws.
Well, they're asking the local city councils and the county government to please pass something or put it up to a local vote. So they're appealing to the local areas.
So you mentioned Washington State was one of the states where this is going on, and I'm guessing this is sort of like the rural pushback against the cities, essentially, because a lot of these laws that gun control laws, for instance, are going to come from the urbanized city areas where there's more lefty politicians. There's a higher percentage of anti-gun people who would vote, and of course those people tend to have a lot more sway just because of the population of those areas in state legislatures. So they're saying, look, we're not being represented in the state legislature. We don't think it's fair. You're stepping on our rights. You city people, you can do whatever you want to do. But out here in the woods, which is probably the supermajority of Washington State, even though it wouldn't be the supermajority of the population necessarily of Washington State, saying this is our way of saying no. And I wonder who did this first. I mean, which sheriff really gets credit for being the first to kind of step out of line?
I'm not
here,
sure,
so to
but
speak?
I'm pretty sure
Bradley
that
Dredis.
I'm pretty sure that
we wish.
Washington, Oregon, New Mexico, and Illinois went first. So those are the first ones, and then other places are following suit.
So
And
some of the least gun-friendly states.
Exactly.
Illinois is particularly bad.
So they have been communicating with each other. They've been sharing drafts of bills that they want passed in the local elections. So there's been a lot of organization behind it. This is not just everybody acting independently. Everybody wants to do it independently, but they are organizing with each other.
I mean, what's interesting is the name I brought up is the name of somebody who was, gunning to be sheriff at one point. I mean, he was just a local officer, right, as an activist, when he was an activist.
I'm not sure what you're referring to.
Brad Jardis.
Oh, Brad Jardis. No, Brad was
kind of an unfortunate story with his mental health, but...
Yeah, Brad was a 10, 11-year kind of veteran, if you will, of the, I think it was Epping, New Hampshire Police Department, so over close to Manchester. He was, by all indicators, a successful cop, right? Like he was a cop for 10 years. They didn't fire him. And he came out against the war on drugs as just an officer. I don't think he had attained any kind of rank, but came out against the war on drugs and was targeted by the other officers in the department for harassment, doing things like drawing pictures of him that were not flattering and, drawing things on his car at work. And ultimately they tried to get him dismissed, to get him fired from the department over this. The Liberty community came out to support him at that firing meeting where they have to have like a hearing that's open to the public to attend. I think the police had Brad shirts on, I think, or like some kind of anti-rat shirt or something. I forget what there was like this intimidating shirt that one of the cops wore.
Real representative of the Thin Blue Line before that became a big thing.
He had broken...
Yeah.
Well,
he had broken the Thin Blue Line.
Right, he had broken it, yeah. Well, I mean, that's been a big
symbol,
thing.
that gang symbol that they've come up with since was not really a big gang symbol at the time.
Oh, no. That's been around for a long time. It's just you became conscious of it at a certain point.
Well, it began to become popular at a certain point.
No, it was you became conscious of it. So that symbol existed for much longer than we've been talking about it on Free Talk Live.
Well, yeah, but it wasn't on everybody's, in their dog's car, on the back of their car as a sticker.
I think it was. You just didn't notice.
All over. Dude,
the
it's
flags
so
are
pervasive
new.
now.
The flags are new. I'll give you that. But
well, I mean, it kind of became a flag and a sticker at the same time for the most part.
I don't think so. I think that's one of those things like where you get a new car and then all of a sudden you see it driving, that same model.
Yeah. When you're
on the
pregnant,
roads.
everybody's pregnant.
Yeah, same thing. Once you see the Thin Blue Line symbol, then all of a sudden you notice it everywhere because it's prolific.
I'm gonna ask.
If you don't know what the Thin Blue Line symbol is, it doesn't. It's not outstanding. It doesn't pop. It's blue. It's dark blue against a black background. Are you familiar with the symbol?
I've seen it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first time you saw it?
No.
Well, the reason why I brought him up is he had made this whole thing about the sheriffs being able to set laws and to be able to do that.
To be clear, the sheriffs are not doing this on their own. They are getting permission from the people.
So there was a spike in popularity in like 2015, 2016. I mean, it was not huge back when the trend started.
There's more coming up here. 855, 450, free like freedom. It's Free Talk Live.
Did you know you can legally exit the U.S. federal income tax system? Well, it's true, and thousands of American nationals are doing it. The 16th Amendment and the Internal Revenue Code are legal, but only in a limited jurisdiction. This is the basis behind the voluntary nature of the income tax. Learn the exit strategy provided by Congress. Find out more by visiting weissparis.com and watch our numerous videos. That's WEISS Paris.com.
I can definitely say that I have found the best cryptocurrency wallet. Certainly the best named one. I'm Mark Edge, and I love the Edge wallet. I've been using it for the last few months. You can buy, sell, trade, and hold your cryptocurrency securely. I trust my holdings of all the major cryptocurrencies to Edge wallet, and you should too. No long phrases to memorize, just a username and password. Secure your freedom with Edge wallet. Get it now on Apple or Android in the App Store or at edge.app.
Go to themorganreport.com and receive updates and insights you will not find anywhere else on the web. You will discover how to grow and protect your wealth under all market conditions. The Free Morgan Report provides interviews, webinars, question and answer sessions, plus mind-blowing videos. As David Morgan says, let my passion create your wealth. Themorganreport.com. themorganreport.com.
Bitcoin.com is delighted to announce their latest partnership with the gift card specialists at eGifter. With many of the world's leading brands on their roster, it is now easier than ever to get the gift cards of your favorite brands with Bitcoin Cash. To get started, just follow these simple steps. Visit giftcards.bitcoin.com, pick the gift card you want, follow the instructions on your screen, and make your payment using your Bitcoin Cash wallet. Sit tight and your gift card will be delivered to you as soon as it's ready. That's giftcards.bitcoin.com.
The push to legalize marijuana is gaining momentum. These prescription doobies will do a whole lot more than just give patients a case of the munchies. Proponents are piping up to say that medical marijuana can help patients with some of the chronic illnesses that have been majorly killing their buzz. Unfortunately, 36 U.S. states are still not a kind bud of the legalization argument. But in states that do have the plan, the results have been, well, pretty far out, man. Patients nationwide are bluntly asking state legislatures to finally mellow out so that they and their doctors can work jointly to stop the suffering that's making a hash of their lives.
So it's clearly an issue that means a lot to these patients.
So states shouldn't toke their time with this policy. We'd be upset if patients had to wait a long time.
This is the Onion News Network.
The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it. What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveatpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveatpurse.com.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. You dial toll free if you want to join us here. Our number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Bitcoin.com is your premier source for everything Bitcoin related, whether it's getting the latest news headlines or engaging with the community on the Bitcoin forum or playing games with your Bitcoin. You can do that over at Bitcoin.com. And I heard they're doing a revamp on their game section to expand the options that are already available. Bitcoin.com can also help you choose your Bitcoin wallet, buy Bitcoin, and show you where you can spend your Bitcoin. And if you're brand new to Bitcoin, there's no better place to go. They've got a Bitcoin Academy there. Bitcoin.com. It's again, it's a lot of it. All of not. I'm going to say all this stuff because buying Bitcoin isn't free, but a whole lot of the site is free. So go and check it out at Bitcoin.com. Some good information there.
So Google kind of vindicated me a little bit here about this thin blue line thing.
Okay.
So the flag, according to trends.google.com, so I went in and I searched thin blue line first, and then I wasn't figuring that out, and then I realized, oh, I need to probably search specifically for information about the thin blue line flag. And what I've realized from looking at those trends was that started to become a thing in 2014, but really didn't start spiking until the summer of 2016 when it started getting huge. So, and I would say, yeah, I'm totally with you. The thin blue line as a concept has been around since the movie Serpico, which is like 70s or something like that. But the actual, that symbol, that black field with the blue line on it, the graphic, didn't really start to become a thing until that flag started to become a thing, and then you started seeing the thin blue line everywhere.
Well,
I think the stickers started before the flag.
The stickers were many years before the flag. But they were things that they were worn by or put on their vehicles by family members of cops and cops.
Yeah.
And it's a little indicator that says, I'm one of you.
But before, it used to be more popular to put that Fraternal Order of Police sticker, which was a little shield.
That's right.
That used to be more popular than the thin blue line. That's kind of gone away, and now people are just going with the gang symbol. But I think, when we were talking to this guy who I'm talking about, this Brad Jardis, who was a police officer, I don't think that the thin blue line was as big of a deal, because this is, we're talking about around like 2010-ish, somewhere around there. And that's when I'm talking about him, and he was talking about this plan where he really had this belief that the sheriffs could, have massive influence over the law, and that the sheriffs would be more likely to use their discretion.
Well, it's a common patriot belief, the idea of having the good patriot sheriff who actually uses his discretion and doesn't enforce bad laws.
Right.
And honestly, it would be nice to have more conscientious people.
What's the name of that old cop show? The
Which one? There's like 1,000.
No, the one that everybody
Dragnet?
talks about when they talk about it's like a 50s
Dragnet?
cop. Not Dragnet.
Is it a newer cop show?
No, it's not it's like a 50s cop show
from the 50s.
Yeah, and you're always naming, when you're talking about the good cop, you normally name this one character from a show.
And it has Don Knotts in it.
Maybe.
Oh.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the show though.
I know what you're talking about now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don Knotts, and the Mayberry was the town, right?
Yeah,
That was the name of the town.
Yes.
And of course, we're going to come up with all the details except for the name of the show.
Somebody has to call
at this point.
I wonder how many people put
Andy
that.
Griffith.
Andy Griffith.
There you go,
Yeah, Barney
Andy Griffith.
Fife.
Yeah.
Barney Fife being the nice.
That was the sheriff, right?
I
Yeah,
wonder how
sure.
many people put that sticker on their car just so they don't get pulled over.
It doesn't work.
You've tried it?
No,
Because
that's
I can't
just what
imagine you doing that.
No, that's just what they say. Is that it's become so popular to where the use of it is not going to get you out of anything.
I wonder what would happen if you took a picture of Don Knotts as Barney Fife and put that on the back of your car. What would happen?
I have no idea.
You pull the
You should
roll.
try that.
Officer, what seems to be the problem?
I don't know if I've ever seen that show.
How old are you that you watched that?
It was on Nick at Night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know where we were going with all
I've
this.
seen
Let's go
Don
back
Knotts and
around
other things. Three's Company. I mean, come on.
Sure.
So
Let's go back around to the story.
I wanted to say just how common this is becoming. According to a Reuters article, 63 counties or municipalities in Illinois have passed some form of firearms sanctuary resolution. 25 of New Mexico's 33 counties. In Oregon, voters in 8 counties, see again, these are the voters who are doing this. Voters in 8 counties approved Second Amendment prevention ordinances last November. And then I know, so here we have in Washington.
So there's 102 counties in Illinois. So that's more than half of the counties.
Yeah. And I know it's over 24 in Colorado. And then there's a whole lot in North Carolina. So this is really, really gaining a lot of momentum. I haven't seen in the articles anything clear that says who's organizing it, if they are. I know that they're speaking to each other. I have had a number of people tell me that it is Joey Gibson of Patriot Prayer who is doing a lot of the organizing or facilitating. I don't know whether
Now, isn't Patriot Prayer a group that sort of responds to the Antifas in the Northwest?
Yes. So
like a conservative.
I'm sure they've made it onto SPLC's list, but I mean, so does everybody. I'm surprised you're not on the list.
I'm in an article about a state rep in New Hampshire. There's a state rep who is kind of like one of those outside the system, you don't need a driver's license to drive kind of state reps here in New Hampshire. He's a real character. His name is Dick Marple. If you ever want to see a pretty entertaining video, as an attorney, you'll probably be amazed by it. He goes into a court in Concord, district court, and literally spends 20-30 minutes shouting at the judge and doesn't get arrested for contempt. He doesn't, he's totally into like a lot of the conspiracy, like the courtroom conspiracy stuff. Like, have you heard the stuff like where if you don't cross the bar, then you haven't consented to the jurisdiction of the court? Have you ever heard of those theories as an attorney? Yeah, so he totally like buys into that kind of stuff, and so it's fun to watch somebody actually try to put those theories into motion and see what happens, because I was there with a video camera to record it, and it's super entertaining. I think that video's got over 500,000 views on YouTube at this point. Yeah.
Yeah.
When do you think they teach those things in law school? that no one seems to know about.
Right. She didn't know about it.
Yeah.
So-
Oh, the little secret stuff. Well, maybe I know it. I'm just pretending.
Well, no, the claim is that only some people know.
Right.
So like the higher ups.
Oh, so I'm not cool
the
enough.
judges and, those folks.
You haven't yet reached the seventh circle of the Illuminati that tells you about the fringe on
right.
the flag.
You haven't been inducted, I guess, into whatever cult they're talking about. But he's a real character, and I think SLPC or SCLP or whatever they are, the
SPLC, the Southern Poverty Law Center.
They wrote an article about Dick Marple, and I got a mention in that. So I guess technically I am on that side.
You are somebody if the SPLC hates you.
Finally, I've made it.
You got your hit piece.
So some people obviously are upset about these sanctuary counties.
Well, because it's local people saying, you know what, we're just not going to follow your laws. They're saying it to their
the legislature.
The state legislature. Say, you know what, we don't like it, and we're just not going to do it.
Great. I love it. I wish we had more of that. And maybe this will be the beginning of more of it, perhaps. I hope this isn't just a one issue one-off
thing. You think, well, the immigration sanctuaries have been around for a while, but I think
a few years at least. Yeah.
That's kind of the point. No, they've been around since the 80s.
Oh, really?
So it took decades for that to gain acceptance. This Second Amendment sanctuary movement is happening very, very
much
fast.
faster.
And I think that says a lot.
All right, there's more on the way. If you want to comment, you're welcome to join us. If you're in Washington or New Mexico or one of these places where this might be some controversy and you want to weigh in, feel free. Our number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Coming up, Joe Biden on the way. It's Free Talk Live.
Most of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally? At Heart and Body Extract, we've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com, or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.
Would you like to get back that full head of hair from years past? Now, there is Reveal. Beverly Hills celebrity dermatologist Dr. Nathan Newman took nearly a decade to develop Reveal from natural botanicals to return to a full-body head of hair. Reveal for men and women with a 30-day money-back guarantee at gcnlife.com or toll-free 844-443-6637. 844-443-6637. Reveal at gcnlife.com.
Would you like to hang out with Penn Jillette? He's keynoting Freedom Fest this year. I, for one, am thrilled. Freedom Fest is the largest liberty-oriented gathering in the world. They take a Big Ten approach with libertarians, conservatives, liberals, anarchists, and just open-minded people mingling together to hear real debates, share real solutions, and converse freely. This year's theme is the Wild West, a time of liberty and opportunity, or a time of anarchy and violence. Maybe both. Go to freedomfest.com/FTL and get your tickets now. freedomfest.com/FTL. Not convinced yet? Hey, I understand. It's a high-end event, even with coupon code FTLEB. Sure, you're likely to receive investment advice that'll make that sum seem paltry, but I have something special for you. Go to freedomfest.com/FTL and you'll get the 5 best speeches from last year for free. Call it a test drive. Do yourself a favor and go to freedomfest.com/FTL. freedomfest.com/FTL. Use coupon code FTLEB for a discount.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
It's Free Talk Live. You dial toll-free to join us right here. Our number's 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Forkfest 2019 is coming up in less than 3 months, June 13th through the 18th. It's going to be at Rogers Campground in the beautiful White Mountains of New Hampshire. It's a great excuse to come and check out New Hampshire and see what it's like up here and see what it's most importantly like being around people who actually agree with you on a lot of stuff, like freedom. The freedom to live your life how you want, whether you're into guns or pot or whatever it is that your thing is, or both. I suspect they will be in, available supply at the Forkfest. You go to forkfest.party to learn more about it. And again, it's June 13th through the 18th. Beautiful place to go. Rogers Campground is spectacular. Laurel, have you ever been up there? I know you're newish to New Hampshire. Well, if you get the chance, get out there because it's a spectacular view and the people are, of course, even better. That's the real reason to go, is to connect with the community that if you make the move here as part of the libertarian migration to New Hampshire, these will be your neighbors in the future. So it's a good excuse to meet your future neighbors if you're planning to move up here. Or if you're considering a move and you're not sure, you're sitting on the fence, this is a great excuse to check out New Hampshire and see what all the buzz is about. See if the things that we've said about the amazing community of liberty-minded folks up here, whether they call themselves libertarians or anarchists or voluntarists, to see that they're real.
Well, just everybody in New Hampshire has been fantastic.
Oh, sure.
If you move here, you will have nice neighbors, I promise.
You came from?
I came from Philadelphia, so
okay.
The bar was pretty low, I have to admit.
Gotcha. So check it out at forkfest.party. There's a Telegram chat and the Forkfest forum there. And by the way, the one thing that you need to know is there are no tickets for Forkfest. There's no central committee. There's nobody who decides what's going to happen except for each individual. So you get to decide. You want to just come up and camp and hang out with other liberty-minded folks? You can do that. That's easy. Do you want to create something for those campers to do? Do you want to, put on a speaker series or a musical event or a poker game or a play? I don't know, whatever it is that you feel like people would enjoy. You can do that. But you just have to figure out where and when. Your campsite, presumably. Although I think the campground will rent you the pavilion, if you want to put something big on. That's up to you. Forkfest.party. Head on over there to learn more about it. Let's go to Matthew in Louisiana. You're on Free Talk Live. We've been talking about the sanctuary sheriffs, basically. These sheriffs who have, and I guess in some cases with the approval of voters.
Basically all of them. They are going to their local legislature.
Really? Okay.
In the
so, all I had before this was Sarah in New Mexico, who may not have had all the facts present. Mm-hmm. She just made it sound like the sheriffs were just doing it, which I'm fine with that too. Like, to me, it doesn't matter. If a sheriff says this law is unconstitutional, I'm not going to enforce it. I don't think they need the opinion of the voters in that case. I think they should just be able to say, nope, not going to do it. As a sort of a final check and balance on this messed up system that we have. The more checks and balances on an out-of-control government, the better, whether it be the voters who are a check or the jurors. Jury nullification, of course, is the classic final check where if the cops are enforcing a bad law, the jury can let somebody off of it by voting not guilty. But this, having a sheriff in there, prevents that from ever having to happen because then the law just won't be enforced in the first place. And if the voters don't like it, they can just vote the sheriff out the next time around. So there's always going to be a vote in the case of a sheriff. I don't think there are appointed sheriffs out there, are there?
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, Matthew, you're on Free Talk Live.
So, Laurel, are you familiar with the concept of incorporated rights?
And not off the top of my head. Why
I'm
don't
not.
you refresh my memory?
Okay. According to Alan Gura, the Second Amendment Foundation, what these are rights that are incorporated under the 14th Amendment. They are granted to all citizens of the United States. And the Heller and the McDonald decision basically incorporated the right to own a firearm. Judge Thomas doesn't think they went far enough, but nonetheless, that became an incorporated right. Now, there is no right to immigrate to the United States. That is a privilege that we, the United States, grant people under certain conditions. And that's why the sanctuary city policy is, under the supremacy clause of the Constitution, somewhat problematic.
Yes. I mean, you're describing why the immigration sanctuaries are different from the Second Amendment sanctuaries. And I think that what you're describing is an important distinction.
I'm not clear on this. What are you saying about
It's basically that
Constitution?
the Second Amendment sanctuaries, we're talking about a constitutional right. Whereas for the immigration sanctuaries,
You have the right to travel.
No,
The right to liberty, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And if the pursuit of happiness,
that is actually in the Declaration of
Sure.
Independence. And believe me, I wish that they would pay more attention to the pursuit of happiness.
but the
thing,
federal government
because-
isn't authorized to control immigration, only naturalization.
it's inherent in sovereignty. It was the Supreme Court that said it's inherent in the sovereignty of the nation.
Okay, but it's not constitutional.
It's not described in the Constitution, no.
Also, happiness doesn't have an objective definition, so therefore the government determines what happiness is, and you have to be happy
Well, I'm
according to
determining what
their-
happiness is.
Their standards.
I don't care what they think.
The Happiness Commission.
As far as I'm concerned, if a sheriff says he wants people to be able to be free to come, if a sheriff says he wants people to be free to come into that plot of land, and he's not going to assist the federal government in enforcing their stupid laws against those folks, I think that's a smart and heroic thing to do. Good for them.
Well, I am positive in them standing up for our right to keep and bear arms. Now, how long this is going to last and what the form this is going to take, I don't know. But I'm also looking at, it was brought up yesterday, that in New Jersey, they still haven't confiscated a single magazine. The state police are still looking at the politicians saying, and okay, we're still not going to do
So are the
this.
police saying, gee, we can't find any. Just can't.
No,
We're
they're
looking,
just-
but...
They're just saying, no, we're not going to do it. We don't feel like turning ourselves into an absolute enemy of the people.
Did they ban
who are already not
magazines of a certain
popular.
size or
Are you
something?
talking about bump stocks?
No, magazine.
Okay.
What did they ban, like
Um,
30-round magazines or something like that? What did they do?
Anything above 10.
Okay, got it. Didn't California's Supreme Court or the Ninth Circuit or something just overturn California's ban on 30?
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
They said, no, a magazine is in essence a firearm. And I was like, well, that's kind of unique, but I'll take it.
Well, that's good news, I guess. Anything else,
that's
Matthew?
all I have for now.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for the call.
Let's go to Dave in New Hampshire. Dave, you're on Free Talk Live. Our toll-free number, by the way, if you want to dial in to join us here, it's 855-450-FREE, 855-450-3733. Dave, go ahead.
If I'd called you guys about this yesterday, you would have accused me of making an April Fool's joke. I had to research this so closely yesterday to make sure it wasn't someone else's April Fool's joke
Yep.
before making any calls about it. It's that crazy.
What is it?
So you're aware with what happened to Japanese Americans after they started registering them.
Mm-hmm.
They rounded them up and put them in camps in the early 40s during World War. Was it late 30s, early 40s, somewhere in that range?
Early 40s.
Yeah.
Of course, they're trying to they want to get you to register your guns, which is also it's not very good for guns or for the people who own them. Well, guess what they're trying to register now with a bill in New Hampshire?
Oh no! What?
You'll never guess. Disabled people.
Oh, you have to register disabled people.
And what's the purpose of that?
Now, not all disabled people, specifically deaf people.
Why?
Well, yeah, does it matter what the purpose is if they're trying to register you?
Well, it's creepy. I'm just wondering what there's always an excuse for these things, and I'm wondering what the official line is. Right. Why do we need to have a deaf registry? Hang on, Dave, if you want to continue the discussion. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. Is it so they can put up those signs on the side of the road? Sometimes where you drive through a neighborhood and there's like a yellow sign, deaf child?
Uh-huh. Deaf child area.
I think that's what I've seen. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. This is Free Talk Live. We've got more coming up.
Would you like to hang out with Penn Jillette? He's keynoting Freedom Fest this year. I, for one, am thrilled. Freedom Fest is the largest liberty-oriented gathering in the world. They take a Big Ten approach with libertarians, conservatives, liberals, anarchists, capitalists, and just open-minded people mingling together to hear real debates, share real solutions, and converse freely. This year's theme is the Wild West, a time of liberty and opportunity, or a time of anarchy and violence. Maybe both. Go to freedomfest.com/FTL and get your tickets now. freedomfest.com/FTL. Not convinced yet? Hey, I understand. It's a high-end event, even with coupon code FTLEB. Sure, you're likely to receive investment advice that'll make that sum seem paltry, but I have something special for you. Go to freedomfest.com/FTL and you'll get the 5 best speeches from last year for free. Call it a test drive. Do yourself a favor and go to freedomfest.com/FTL. freedomfest.com/FTL. Use coupon code FTLEB for a discount.
Ew, get the stinky dog away from me. Bad breath and bad gas. Petey stopped eating. All his hair fell out.
Itching, licking, missing fur.
At least $5,000 in vet bill. Creams, antibiotics, sprays.
No results.
Everything we tried failed except the Dynovite. DINOVITE.com.
If you want the dog to be healthy, you got to feed it something healthy.
The omega-3 fatty acids. Flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa. The digestive enzymes that are cooked out of regular dog food. Dynovite is nutrition.
The shedding is stopped and the itching is stopped.
Her coat is now soft, it's silky, it's healthy and shiny and glossy.
She's got life, she's got energy.
Tons of energy, no more bad smells.
Dynovite's the bomb.
Dynovite is the best thing that's ever happened to my dogs, besides me, of course.
859-428-1000.
859-428-1000.
Dynovite for life.
DINOVITE.com.
A congressman recently revealed that legislation totaling 2,900 pages and involving more than $1 trillion was available to members of Congress for less than 48 hours to study and consider. That's over 60 pages of legislation per hour. Do you think anyone read the entire bill? I'm Jim Babka with DownsizeDC.org. Consider a proposal buried in a 3,200-page, $388 billion bill, which would have empowered committee chairmen or their agents to examine Americans' tax returns. When this horrible provision came to light, no one claimed to know how it got into the bill. One congressman questioned said, "I didn't write it, I didn't approve it, I wasn't even consulted." If your attorney represented you this way, he might be disbarred. But this is how Congress represents you every day. That's why DownsizeDC.org has created the Read the Bills Act. You can force Congress to read their bills before they pass them at DownsizeDC.org.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money.
There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at Bitcoin.com. That's Bitcoin.com.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You bring up whatever you want. Take control of the airwaves here. Our number is 855-450-FREE. Coming up, the Joe Biden controversy. I don't think we've really discussed it here on Free Talk Live. And Johnson, it's something you want to talk about tonight. Sure. It's Ian, Laurel, and Johnson in the studio with you. And, of course, you're invited to join us. Also on our Discord on-air call-in lines, which are open and available to you over at discord.lrn.fm. So head on over there and get interactive. We've got listeners in that chat room. There's a bunch of chat rooms on our Discord server. They're there 24 hours a day, basically. So check that out. Lots of the co-hosts, including me, we spend some time there as well. In fact, I'm in there pretty much every day. Go to discord.lrn.fm. But again, the first 4 rooms that you'll see on the list are call-in line rooms that'll allow you to sound almost like you're sitting here in the studio with us. Let's go back to your calls and thoughts. Dave is in New Hampshire. You were talking about some legislation that I guess has been proposed. I don't know what its current status is. It's the first I've heard of it, where you're saying that some of the people in the legislature would like to create a registry for, was it all deaf people or just deaf children?
I looked at the bill. I haven't read any of the propaganda surrounding the bill very closely, but I didn't see anything in the bill that indicated you'd have to register. So that's possibly a good thing. But like I said, I could have missed that.
Does the bill say anything about its intentions? Like, what was the reason? Why did they want to do this?
No, bills normally don't say, because we need to fix this problem, here is the text. It doesn't work like that when you read a bill.
Sometimes they do. Sometimes it's like, whereas, da-da-da-da-da, whereas, this and that, and they kind of lay it out. But so you're not clear on this. There's just some state rep wants to create a state-run registry for deaf people.
Yeah, it looked like 2 or maybe 3 Democrat state reps, and it's House Bill 487.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just don't know that much about it. I think it gets a hearing tomorrow, the 3rd, and if you go to nhliberty.org, you can figure out how to email the reps if you live in New Hampshire.
Huh. So, I mean, you're just sort of opposing this on principle of we don't need the more registries that we have, the worse off people are going to be, because whenever the government has information, they generally don't use it for people's benefit.
Well, to know whether or not you should be against the government bill, you just need to know whether it costs money.
And every bill in New Hampshire is given a financial note as far as what those bills would cost, and so it looks like this would cost on approximately $80,000 to $90,000 a year.
Wow.
To administer this particular program.
But this is the kind of thing you would normally think, this would put people would be a huge outcry. People would be coming out in droves to make sure they're not being registered like the Japanese before the concentration camps. But so far I haven't heard that much. I saw something on libertyblock.com or libertyblock.org about it, but so far I haven't seen much outcry, so I'm trying to create a little.
Yeah, it's creepy. I am looking at the proposed law here, and it does say that physicians and other licensed or certified healthcare provider who's qualified by training to make the diagnosis, who then makes the diagnosis, shall report all new cases of this diagnosis to the department in a form and manner prescribed by the commissioner. So it is a requirement upon the medical community, doctors essentially, whoever
Sounds
it is.
like a HIPAA violation. It's people's private medical information.
Well, it says the code shall not include the name or address of the person.
Well, then is it a registry?
Oh, wait, no, never mind. No, it does say the report shall be in writing and shall include the name and address of the person. It's just the code within the department, I guess, won't So yeah, this could very well be a HIPAA violation, which may be a way to overturn this if it actually does get passed.
Right. Yeah.
So there you go, Dave. Thanks for the call tonight. That's Dave Ridley from RidleyReport.com. And speak of the devil, here she is, Sarah in New Mexico.
Hey, Sarah.
We were just talking about you, Sarah, and this sanctuary gun thing that you had actually turned us on to. Several weeks ago, she called about this. She was all in she was flustered. The sheriffs across New Mexico have been refusing to enforce these new gun laws that they've passed there. And Sarah, had you heard? I don't know if you're listening live these days now that we're live in Albuquerque there, but did you hear that there are other states where this is spread to?
Well, the sanctuary is a part of the rural. See, the rural state, they have to have guns to shoot down bears. They have wolves that attack the chicken cooch. They have to hunt.
So you aren't opposed to rural people having guns?
Well, but I could understand their point of view. You know, why the limiting their access is. So that actually, I can understand why the rural people. Those are the rural sheriffs that are for the sanctuary.
Well, isn't most of New Mexico rural?
Yeah, 30 out of, 29 or 30 out of the 30-something counties there.
I mean, really, let's be honest, even your cities are rural. Come on.
I mean, Albuquerque's not
that's what I'm talking about.
rural.
We have this gun culture for the last 100 years here in New Mexico because the whole state was rural.
Mm-hmm.
The whole state was just a cow farm. I mean, there was no such thing as city. But now we've got problems because the cities are becoming populated.
I mean, Albuquerque is more than 500,000 in the downtown or metro or whatever. So that's pretty big.
All I know is Bugs Bunny used to always make a wrong turn there.
Right.
This is one of those differences of perspective. You know, you're living in New Hampshire.
Should have put down the blue meth.
Versus living in Philadelphia. To me, 500,000,
But look, Sarah, so what you're saying is you can understand why people in rural areas need guns to defend against bears and wolves, but could you also see that maybe somebody in a city might need a gun to defend against a crackhead that's crawling through their window with a machete in the middle of the night?
There's probably more people attacked by crackheads than people attacked by bears.
Most likely.
Well, the thing about it is that it's the opposite way here. I feel like the more guns, that they'll use it against the homeowners. And the car thieves will shoot the people that come out and...
See, here's the thing you're missing, Sarah. When people are criminals and they're willing to break the law because it's illegal to put a gun in your face if you're sitting at a stop. If you're sitting at a stoplight in a car as a driver, it's illegal to walk up and tell that person they got to get out of their car so that the person who wants the car can just steal it. That's called carjacking, and it's highly illegal. So whether that person has a knife in their hand or a gun in their hand or a taser or whatever weapon it is they've chosen, that person is already willing to break the law and risk felony charges to try to steal your car. So what makes you think that they're going to respect the other law that you want to see enforced on guns? Why would a person who's willing to risk felony charges not acquire a gun to take that risk?
You know what? I actually called in about...
That's fine. You don't have to answer the question.
Okay.
Your silence is enough. Go ahead. What were you calling about tonight?
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I actually called in about how I like Circle K, and Circle K was going to expand their stores, and you throw me this calculus big giant question.
Calculus question?
It's because you called about it before. Well, Sarah, when I got here tonight and I said that I wanted to talk about these sanctuary cities for guns, they said, hey, Sarah called about that. So we were all hoping that you would call in so we could talk about it because you had brought it up before. You knew before they did, which is kind of impressive.
Yeah, she filled us in on this weeks before you brought the story to the table. So it's fine, Sarah, if you want to talk about Circle K. I mean, I've actually been to one recently. They have them down in Mexico.
Well, the thing is, Circle K, they're expanding their store, and most of, as we know, most of the stores have been closing all over the country.
I didn't know that.
Toys R Us.
Did you guys know Circle K's been closing their stores?
Yeah, I grew up in South Jersey, and we didn't have it. So
no Circle K's down there?
Nope.
Okay.
Never really paid attention.
No.
Circle K's is kind of like unremarkable as far as convenience stores go. Like, they never had the Slurpee. All they had was the Big Gulp. I think Circle K originated the Big Gulp, if I'm not mistaken.
They did have Bill and Ted's Big Adventure, because they said strange things are afoot at the Circle K.
Really? I haven't seen that
it takes
movie
place
in years.
at the Circle K.
You know they're making a sequel, right?
Okay.
No. Like, they're expanding. They're expanding their store. That's what
They're
I'm saying.
expanding. They're not
Circle K
shutting
is-
down.
Wait, you can't have it both
my
ways.
whole
Are they
point.
shutting down or are they expanding? Because you said they were shutting
They're
down.
expanding. So I said that all the other businesses are. I said most of the other businesses are shutting down. They're expanding their stores. That's why
I see.
I'm making a point of it.
I misunderstood. So what is it that the Circle K is doing right compared to other convenience stores?
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. What is it about Circle K that they're hiring more
It's a
people?
mystery
and
that
they're
I
gonna
don't
open
know
up
if we'll
more
ever
stores.
solve. Thanks for the call, sir.
I have one for Sarah. If the typical stopping distance of the vehicles are separated by the 2-second rule, what is the flow rate R1, and what would be the maximum minimum flow rate required to be when it does occur?
Is this an actual calculus question? 855-450, free like freedom.
But
That's
it's in her area of interest.
855-450-3733. Hour 2's next. You dial toll free and join us on Free Talk Live.
Gold is a better way. Imagine doing business with a company that seeks to add massive value before asking for your business. My name's Adam Barata. I'm the co-owner of Advantage Gold and the author of the national best-selling book, Gold is a Better Way. The book may not be for you, but the tens of thousands who've read it have been blown away to learn why gold is set to soar to over $10,000. We're so confident this book will change the way you think about investing, we've purchased 1,000 copies from the publisher and are giving them to serious investors. If you have an IRA or 401k with over $100,000, we'd like to send you your copy. Just text the word bestseller to 49776. That's bestseller to 49776. You can buy it on Amazon, go to Barnes & Noble, or text bestseller and get it for free. Text bestseller to 49776. That's bestseller to 49776. We promise to add massive value before ever asking for your business. Gold is a better way. Text bestseller to 49776.
So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,289, silver at $14.99, and Bitcoin is trading around $4,131. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, President Donald Trump's threat to close the southern border was met with criticism and concern from politicians, activists, the public, and Pope Francis. Trump is taking the action, he said, because of what he believes is a crisis in drug smuggling and human trafficking. In remarks to reporters Sunday, Pope Francis said that Trump and people who think the way the U.S. president does about migrants are ultimately trapping themselves in an inhumane situation.
Le persone che preferiscono costruire dei muri.
The comments preceded a tweet made by the Pope Saturday, in which he celebrated the rights of migrants to self-determination. Acting Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney, speaking to ABC News anchor John Carl Sunday, said that unless something dramatic changed, the closure would happen this week.
Democrats didn't believe us a month ago, 2 months ago, when we said what was happening at the border was a crisis, a humanitarian crisis, a security crisis.
The measure to close the border comes as the Trump administration plans to cut aid to Central American countries, a move that experts argue is almost certain to increase, not curtail, the number of immigrants at the border. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven, fighting for your right to consume plant-based medicine and natural remedies. Find out more at mybravebotanicals.com. And right now, Liberty Beat listeners can save 10% by using promo code SNLS at checkout. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat, online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. Actor Nick Cannon has announced that he will be picking up where slain Grammy-nominated artist and documentary filmmaker Nipsey Hussle left off. The Free Thought Project reports that Cannon posted a photo of himself and Hussle to Instagram Monday, noting that Hussle will never be silenced and that he, Cannon, is going to pick up the baton to finish this marathon. Hussle was gunned down in front of his Los Angeles clothing shop Sunday afternoon. He had been working on a documentary about Dr. Sebi and his claims of curing cancer and AIDS, which caused many to speculate that the documentary was the reason for Hussle's murder. Cannon, on Instagram posts, proudly exclaimed that, quote, "They can't kill us all," end quote, and there is, quote, "unfinished king business," end quote. A pro-Israel New York lawmaker has prompted outrage by tweeting that Palestine does not exist, drawing criticisms of racism and Islamophobia. The Mind Unleashed reports the incendiary comments have come under heavy fire on Twitter, and accusations of Islamophobic hypocrisy have been directed at U.S. officials, who have failed to denounce the comments in the same way they denounced Democratic Representative Ilhan Omar. Brooklyn Councilmember Coleman Yeager tweeted, quote, "Palestine does not exist. There, I said it again. Also, Congresswoman Omar is an anti-Semite. Said that too." End quote. Yeager's remark was part of a Twitter exchange with a blog writer. The author of the blog slammed the pro-Israel lawmaker for calling Congresswoman Omar an anti-Semite. Yeager hit back by repeating the racist trope that Palestine does not exist. The remark, along with the notion that there is no such thing as a Palestinian people, is part of a racist narrative that has been used to deny 11 million Palestinians their right to self-determination. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
According to a groundbreaking new study published Thursday in the New England Journal of Medicine, psychologists have discovered that the average person, while ostensibly appearing to be normal and mentally sound in their day-to-day lives, immediately becomes a deranged psychotic when alone at home.
We observed hundreds of subjects with successful careers, numerous friends, and loving families. Perfectly normal. But as soon as they were at their homes by themselves, they began presenting behavior consistent with those suffering from dementia, schizophrenia, and various other acute mental illnesses.
Researchers illustrated the study's findings with footage of 29-year-old test subject Brian Temple, who, despite having a steady job and maintaining an ordinary social life, exhibited increasingly erratic and unstable activity from the moment he was alone in his apartment, including dancing in his kitchen to no music whatsoever. Making grotesque faces in the mirror for extended periods of time, and seemingly having conversations with no one in particular.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live, and you can take control of the airwaves here. You can bring up whatever's on your mind. Our number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We do have the Discord on-air call-in line rooms at discord.lrn.fm. So hop into one of those. You want to get on the air with us in the studio with you. It's Ian.
I'm Laurel.
And I am Johnson.
I have to correct my error. I was corrected by one of the chatters in the Discord server in the On Air Now room. Apparently, the Big Gulp, I misremembered, is actually a 7-Eleven product, not a Circle K product, which is what we were discussing before, because Sarah had called in saying that Circle K was expanding, and I was just openly commenting, like, are they even noteworthy for anything? Did they ever do anything that made them stand out amongst all the other convenience stores out there? And I thought it was the Big Gulp, but that was 7-Eleven. So.
I do have to mention something because I Google things when we're talking about stories and whatnot. And while we were talking about that, we made the joke about the the Bugs Bunny always making the wrong turn at Albuquerque.
Right.
So I just threw that phrase into Google and found this amazingly ironically titled news story, because how the goofy news always titles their stories. Titled this one "Wrong Turn at Albuquerque" about. Apparently in 2016, hidden amongst shipments of carrots across the border from Mexico, they were wrapping in it looks like some sort of maybe like orange electrical tape and saran wrap. Basically these carrot-shaped packages of marijuana hidden among, tons of carrots. Every so often they would throw in these marijuana carrots.
Right. I wonder what's in the avocados.
And apparently they, at one point, they stopped, something like over a ton of marijuana worth out of these carrot shipments. So I thought that was a pretty amazing story from the summer of 2016.
Let's go to your calls and thoughts. Coming up, you've got a story also, Johnson, about Joe Biden.
Creepy Uncle Joe.
Some people are saying he's a creep. Others are saying he's a creep, but it's okay. But it's okay that he's creepy because he's a Democrat. So it's fine. Let's go to Robert. I don't know if it's Robert. It's R in Florida. R calling from Florida. You're on Free Talk Live, watching online on YouTube.
Oh, you guessed my name, Ian, but let's say Reviler. Hello.
Oh, that's actually your name? All right.
Yeah, it actually is. I kind of doxed myself. Look, I'm screwed up off whiskey, and I don't have much time, but I want to say, man, I gave you props.
You're screwed up off what?
Whiskey.
Whiskey,
oh,
Jim
okay.
Beam, honey.
Gotcha.
Jim Beam.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm like a southern biatch, Look, man, I give you guys big props for being one of the few internet/radio stations still around in 2019 that actually cares about anti-statism and differing points of view. For instance, what I want to talk about is the disgusting transgender destruction of our children with this garbage and the garbage bags at the top of a certain tribe that we're not allowed to talk about the profit off of it.
What are the transgenders doing to destroy people's children?
Okay, so what they're doing, not all of them overall. You have some good people like Aria DeMezzo and some others, for instance, right? But what you have overall is a colluded effort of those to try to subvert biology, just like they've subverted race, just like they've subverted nationalistic identity, and they tell kids, oh, if you feel like a girl even at 3 years old, that's fine, be a girl, as low IQ, browner scum are imported by elitist certain nosed buttholes that we're not allowed to mention to destroy us and subvert us as white people and Europeans.
That sounds like some really paranoid garbage.
Well, it's really true, Mr. Ian. I mean, that's one thing with Cantwell. I'm not a big fan of his anymore either, as you know, but he is right about a lot of that, and he was not a racist and raised in a very multicultural home, just as I was as well, sir.
So you've become a racist, is what you're saying, because you believe it's the right thing to do.
I have become a racist. I have become a racist because I've realized that people that look like you and me and a lot of us, Laurel or whatever her name is, she seems like a nice girl. She can never spell her YouTube, so I can never find her freaking YouTube, which is annoying. And
is it that hard to spell Laurel C. Scott? I think that's what it is, right?
No, it's C.
I didn't know. Okay.
Just put in there Laurel Immigration and you'll find it.
Okay.
Oh, I'll find it. Look, but the point is that these people, listen, again, and I'm a genderqueer individual myself. I'm the genderqueer Nazi, as you all know me as, even though I'm not a socialist, right? The point is, why can people not just feel feminine or be feminine and express themselves without taking drugs, without going on board along the Kalergi plan, without going on board along, destroy whites? Why do they need surgery to mutilate their genitalia? That's all.
There's a lot that you've just said, then I don't really know where to start with it. I mean, if somebody wants to put drugs in their own body, then who am I to say that they're right or wrong about that?
In my sectarian monarchist state, there could be a certain amount of blacks, a certain amount of transgenders, a certain amount of Jays even allowed, right? But if they start to subvert and destroy people, as George Lincoln Rockwell, great man, said, then they need to be, maybe get the wood chipper treatment like the communist scum. But the point is, you could be genderqueer or gender variant without...
Why would any of those people want to go into your community anyway? I mean, it doesn't sound like a real friendly place. Yeah. Oh, you crossed the wrong person and you end up in a wood chipper. That's lovely.
No, Ian, it's more than crossing the wrong person, darling. It's destroying.
Well, didn't you say it was a monarchy, so therefore you would be in charge, right? Or some king?
No, not me. Yes, a king or a queen.
Some king god,
right?
So you cross the king.
Yes, sir.
Or one of the king's men.
Yes, sir.
You go in the wood chipper.
But they'd have a council. But they'd have a council.
Oh, that makes it all okay.
Sounds very
the council voted.
The
council voted to throw you in the wood chipper, so it's fine.
Yeah, I guess it's a somewhat democratic thing on a small level, but you can't give low IQ scum the look. I love you guys. What you do?
What do you have against low IQ people? You know
I have it. Okay,
the world.
There's less empathy with low IQ people, as Charles Murray and them have found as well, Mr. Ian. There are some good low IQ people out there, like autistic and mentally challenged, or what we would call retarded people, who are very good people, who are more useful than some of the scum on welfare, white or not. But you know what I don't like? I don't like seeing people that look like us and our parents and our family that took care of us and did well for us, all right, in the straight traditionalist lifestyle being destroyed by Zionist pieces of feces. That's what I don't like, sir.
That was a lot.
He just hates so much. It's hard to unpack it all. Thanks for the call.
At least you're very confident in your worldview.
That much he is.
I was waving because I thought he was signing off.
He is gone. The toll-free number is 855-4FIT for now, 855-450-3733. But unfortunately, there are people like him in the world, as confused as he appears to be, because he's got the strange viewpoint of being a racist and wanting to live in this racial whatever monarchy or whatever he'd said there, what was it, sectarian monarchy or something like that, sectarian racist monarchy, but yet he thinks that he's going to be fine even though he's genderqueer.
Right.
he's gonna avoid the wood chipper.
He'll get very comfortable with that wood chipper.
The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE. We continue, and we'll take your calls and thoughts about whatever you want. Johnson, since we're talking about sexy things, let's talk about Joe Biden.
I don't know that I'm going to have to agree with you on that. But so the story here from Reason is several women have accused former President Joe Biden, a likely 2020 contender, of inappropriate physical conduct. One of these women, Lucy Flores, a former candidate for lieutenant governor of Nevada.
Presumably these are Democrat women.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Writes that Biden smelled her hair and kissed her on the back of the head during a campaign stop in 2014. Another woman, Amy Lapos, says Biden put his hands on her head and pulled her closer during a 2009 political fundraiser. He's very touchy.
Yeah, well, there's lots and lots of footage of him doing things exactly like that.
Yeah, you can just look up
creepy
Joe
Uncle
Biden
Joe.
creepy pictures, on Google image search.
And doesn't he do it to, like, children as well?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, there's a picture of him kissing, like, a little boy on the lips, and it's like, what is
I'll have
going
to look
on
that one
here?
I mean, there are some families where that happens,
Yeah,
but
maybe.
I'm suspecting he wasn't a family member.
I don't know if he was or not. It just is, it's definitely
Now, if it's
bizarre.
somebody that you know and you know that this is okay, because
Mark
of the
says he does that with his
relationship you
kid.
have.
Yeah, I mean, it's a family member. There's no.
Well, everything that's going on. If it's somebody that you know really well, and you know that this is the relationship you have, that's fine. But in a lot of the footage of him doing these types of things, these are women he doesn't know.
He's meeting for the first time.
Right, he's meeting for the first time. There's no way he could have gotten consent.
Right, and there's a lot of pictures where it's like you can tell that the look on the person's face is like
creeped out.
They're
creeped out.
We got more. You can tell us about it coming up here, Johnson. 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. And this, of course, is one of the more amusing parts of the primaries where the Democrats, and the Republicans attack one another. And so that's kind of fun to watch. 855-450-FREE. Like freedom. You can join us here. Your comments on creepy Uncle Joe. It's Free Talk Live.
Ike was such a sweet, lovable animal, and people would want to pet him, and they'd come up and they'd get close to him, and it would be this instant, oh! My dad didn't want to touch him. It's like, ooh, get the stinky dog away from me.
Even after we'd give her a bath, she would still stink.
Very stinky, both bad breath and bad gas. I asked the vet, and he said some dogs are just stinky.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dinovite for help.
DINOVITE.com.
The omega-3 fatty acids.
Flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa, the digestive enzymes that are cooked out of regular dog food. The ingredients convinced me that it was definitely worth trying. After about a week, he started smelling normal. My husband and I were really kind of astonished. Dinovite is nutrition.
859-428-1000.
DINOVITE.com.
Bitcoin.com is delighted to announce their latest partnership with the gift card specialists at eGifter. With many of the world's leading brands on their roster, it is now easier than ever to get the gift cards of your favorite brands with Bitcoin Cash. To get started, just follow these simple steps. Visit giftcards.bitcoin.com, pick the gift card you want, follow the instructions on your screen, and make your payment using your Bitcoin Cash wallet. Sit tight and your gift card will be delivered to you as soon as it's ready. That's giftcards.bitcoin.com.
Go to themorganreport.com and receive updates and insights you will not find anywhere else on the web. You will discover how to grow and protect your wealth under all market conditions. The free Morgan Report provides interviews, webinars, question and answer sessions, plus mind-blowing videos. As David Morgan says, let my passion create your wealth. TheMorganReport.com. TheMorganReport.com.
Don't you hate that feeling in the pit of your stomach when the police pull you over? Most people have no idea how to handle it properly, and they promptly get fed into the municipal fee-generating meat grinder. Or maybe you recall that feeling you get when you go to the mailbox and see one or more letters from the IRS. You get a sense of impending doom, don't you? So let me ask you, if you could learn how to use the law to beat the IRS, traffic tickets, almost any courtroom scenario, collectors, credit card debt, and even mortgage debt because of fraud perpetrated against you, would that be worth knowing about? Don't laugh. Investigate. Check out the life-changing benefits of the Lighthouse Law Club at their website, lighthouselaw.club. That's lighthouselaw.club. And while you're at it, visit the Lighthouse Law Club YouTube channel. You might be in for a pleasant surprise.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM. The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
It is Free Talk Live. You can take control of the airwaves here. Bring up whatever is on your mind. Our number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We do have the Discord on-air call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm. Liberty.menu is for individuals who reject the initiation of force and who agree to abide by the ethics of the non-aggression principle. If that describes you, then you ought to be over there at Liberty.menu. It is basically a directory for events, businesses, and digital content creators, people who have a thing that they want other liberty-minded folks to know about. So if it's your business, you put your business up there, you show up on the map, other people who care about freedom can find you, and maybe you'll get some new business as a result of doing that. And it's free to do it, so you might as well be there. unless you don't want people to know that you care about freedom. Go to liberty.menu and you can get started there. And again, it's totally free. If you got more than one business, put more than one entry in. It's free. So liberty.menu, and you can use code FTL, not for a discount because, again, the site's free, but that will get you a special Free Talk Live listener badge on your user profile. It's liberty.menu. We are sharing with you, Johnson, you've got some opinions, a story, or whatever it is on this Joe Biden creepy factor, which has kind of been floating around for the last couple of years. I remember seeing, here and there a report on Joe Biden being, unusually creepy for a politician.
He's been creepy for a while, but it's really just people are talking about it more now.
I mean, I find all politicians to be gross and despicable.
They're all very creepy.
Yeah,
they want to run your life.
Exactly. And
they want to get very involved in personal aspects of your life.
This guy's just, being a little more intimate, I guess, than your typical politician feels comfortable doing. And he's been caught on video and photographic evidence of him doing this for people of all ages. He doesn't seem to discriminate in that way. He's targeting elderly women. He's targeting children.
Men?
Apparently, yeah. Cops. There's one of him gripping the knee or putting his hand on the leg of a fairly large police officer sitting in an audience, and the cops looking very confused, possibly angry about
and as well as the cop behind him also what is going on?
So go ahead, Johnson. I'm not sure where we were with this or what story or what.
Sure. So it says the article here goes on. Let me make sure I'm.
And just to go on before you do that, what I was saying right before we went to break was this is part of the entertainment of the primary process. Not that I really pay too much attention, but in talk radio we encounter some of the the primary drama here. I don't like politicians. I had a guy actually working here in the studio installing a new air conditioner because finally we've got the squealy old air conditioner out of the studio, which I should have done it a few years ago, but finally got around to it. And he'd never seen the studio before, didn't know what was going on here, and he asked if we'd interviewed any of the presidential candidates, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to talk to those scum. That's basically what I said to the guy.
You had presidential candidate Darryl W. Perry on frequently.
Well, he was a co-host of the show, and certainly that wasn't what he meant.
Yeah.
But then
that's how you should have answered, though.
You had Ron Paul on once, though, didn't you?
We did a long time ago.
Yeah.
Long time ago.
Was he even a presidential candidate at that point?
He's run a couple of times, just maybe not at the time. I don't know.
I don't remember what year it was that we had him on, but I did actually mention to him that we'd had Ron Paul on because I'd explained to him that it's a libertarian show, and he actually kind of brightened up at that. So he was actually glad to hear that it was a libertarian show.
Did you ever interview Harry Brown?
Yes, but not on Free Talk Live.
Oh, interesting.
I interviewed Harry Brown on the local radio stations that I was a disc jockey on.
Right, awesome.
I don't think I have a copy of it, though. That's the sad part.
Oh.
Yeah. So anyway, the entertainment of seeing these politicians eat each other alive. I enjoy seeing the state attack itself. Because then they're spending their resources attacking each other rather than us, and so I do enjoy that.
Maybe you could contact one of the stations in Florida and see if they have it on a one of those cart tapes for the old cart machine.
I don't think so. I think those are long gone, and no, I don't think I would have recorded it to a cart anyway. Those are short-term things. Anyway, so it's nice to see the politicians attacking one another. This is obviously something that his opponents can go after him on, and they're going to feel like they should, because I've heard that the polls are showing, or that I haven't seen the poll, but I heard that he was leading a poll of Democrats.
Is he really?
At some point. So if he's the top dog, they're going to try their damnedest to take him down, right?
Now, Johnson, I think you said before that he's the one you would never vote for.
Yeah.
Why is that? It's not because he's creepy.
No, it's because he's responsible for the RAVE Act is one of the largest reasons. But he's been responsible for some other really, really awful laws.
The RAVE Act, which came around in the early aughts, that threatened dance
property owners, anyone who basically hosts any kind of a music festival. So if you're a landowner and you want to have a music festival, like say Woodstock, on your private land, they will take your land from you because there might be drugs present at your unsanctioned, unregulated event, and they will send in SWAT. And I mean, there was this event in Ohio that we covered many years ago where there's just video of them just beating on ravers. Just they had SWAT.
Was it Ohio or the Utah rave?
Oh, was it Utah? Oh, maybe it was Utah.
The one that was outdoor where they had the helicopter come in?
Yeah, they had helicopters come in and they had SWAT dropping out of
Utah.
helicopters to storm in and start like tear gassing and just beating the hell out of these like peaceful dancers.
And it was in the middle of nowhere, too.
Yeah.
It was like they held it purposefully, like in the mountains out in the middle of Utah.
And then you have people who are tripping saying, do you see that? Do you see what I see? Is this happening?
It was real and horrible. Yeah, we talked about that a long time ago on Free Talk Live. Yeah. That was back in the Florida days of this show.
Yep.
We talked about that.
Yeah, and there's some other things, but that's
he's a bad
that's
man.
among them.
Bad man.
Yeah, very.
This is one of the there's so many downsides of politics, but this is one of them, is that the impression a person gives, things like, is he creepy, end up being more important than what are his policies.
Right.
But that's how it goes. That's how it works.
Because people can't seem to pay attention to.
Well, all of their policies are awful. I mean, they're politicians. So all they argue over is how to control people and how to spend their money and extract obedience from them.
But you like Ron Paul, right?
And
he's a politician.
One exception to the rule. Ron Paul is
so not all
of
politicians.
Yeah, I will make an exception for Ron Paul, but he's now gone. So of the 535 that remain in Washington D.C.,
what about his son, Rand?
They're awful, and he's nowhere near as good as Ron Paul. He's not even. If you call Rand Paul a libertarian, he will rebuff you on it, and he will claim he's not a libertarian.
Mm-hmm.
Now there are some people who believe he's secretly an anarchist, but there's no evidence for it. It's just what they want to believe about him.
Yeah. So to continue on here, it says here that these and other accusations lend credence to the media caricature of Joe Biden as creepy Uncle Joe, an idea the former Veep's critics on both the left and the right have been eager to popularize. The Me Too movement has made the public more attuned to sexual misconduct and warier about powerful men in government, media, and entertainment who stand accused of wrongdoing. Biden's reputation as a man who is overly familiar with women could hurt his campaign for the presidency, though anyone who thinks this is guaranteed to doom him should be gently reminded that the current president is Donald Trump.
Yeah, but he's on the right, and it's who are they going to run from within their own party?
Right.
Well, it's a good point, though. I mean, the information about Donald Trump and his sexual proclivities and rudeness and such certainly came out during the campaign.
Has been overcome.
Yeah.
But they have a different base.
True, but I don't think most people are going to support openly the things that Biden or Trump were doing.
No, they're not
just going to look past it.
Right.
Is what they're going to do. There's more coming up here. It's Free Talk Live.
By now you know that wireless technology like cell phones do in fact pose dangers to the health and privacy of everyone. Block-It Pocket's wide range of products are unmatched in providing the protection you deserve. No scare tactics, just common sense. BlockItPocket.com offers quality American-made options to alleviate and eliminate these invisible dangers. Learn more at BlockItPocket.com or call 888-315-9618. BlockItPocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
Do the letters IRS give you anxiety? I'm Dan Pilla. I've defended people from the IRS for more than 40 years. My book, How to Get Tax Amnesty, created the tax resolution industry and is responsible for helping hundreds of thousands of people. It can help you too. If you're a non-filer or facing IRS enforcement right now, your case is unique. You need real help, not cookie-cutter advice. My clients get my personal attention. Buy my book at danpilla.com and get a free consultation directly with me. That's danpilla.com. Let's start solving your tax problem right now.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this, right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at shiresociety.com. That's shiresociety.com.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. Physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Dial in, toll free, and bring up whatever you want. Our number is 855-450-FREE. Like freedom, that's 855-450-3733. We've also got the Discord on-air call-in line rooms. You head over to discord.lrn.fm. Jump into any one of those. There are 4 of the rooms right at the top of the chat room list. And we will see you in there. Join you, and we'll give you a quick mic check, make sure everything's working all right with you off the air. And then we'll get you on with us. You'll sound almost like you're sitting in the studio with me, Ian.
I'm Laurel.
And I'm Johnson.
Johnson is telling us about the latest on the creepy Joe Biden controversy that is getting more attention now because he's been talking about it. And I don't think he's officially thrown in his hat, at least not the last that I'd heard, but he's expected, as I understand it, to throw in to the Democratic primary for president, which means that the other candidates have a strong interest in targeting him.
I think he's too old. He's 76.
Well, wasn't Trump like 74 or something like that? Trump's pretty old, too. There's no maximum age to run for president. You just have to be at least 35 years old. Trump's one of the old. I believe Trump is one of the oldest presidents we've ever had, if I'm not mistaken on that. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm looking it up.
The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE. So, Johnson, what else do we need to know about this creeper?
So, again, we mentioned the Donald Trump being president sort of thing, and that this kind of
meaning that voters can overlook this sort of thing.
Trump is 72 right now, by the way.
Okay.
So it says, at the same time, it's important to not mischaracterize matters. Some forms of Me Too advocacy has eroded careful distinctions, particularly on college campuses. For instance, one of the viral images most associated with the creepy Uncle Joe headline is a picture of Joe Biden rubbing the shoulders of Stephanie Carter while her husband, Ashton Carter, was sworn in as Secretary of Defense. But as she explains in a recent Medium post, after the picture started making the rounds again, it does not depict a Me Too violation. Biden's contact with Carter was welcome and consensual. Carter had slipped and fallen on some ice just before the ceremony, she writes, and the incident had left her shaken. By the time then Vice President Biden had arrived, he could sense I was uncharacteristically nervous and quickly gave me a hug. He leaned in to tell me thank you for letting him do this, and kept his hands on my shoulders as a means of offering his support. But a still shot taken from the video, misleadingly extracted from what was a longer moment between close friends, sent out in a snarky tweet, came to be the lasting image of that day.
Mm-hmm.
In that context, Biden's touching of Carter wasn't inappropriate. It wasn't inappropriate because the sole person with the authority to judge that, Carter, says that it wasn't.
True.
Carter's experience does not invalidate Flores's or Lapo's,
who have felt creeped out.
Right. Mm-hmm. But it should serve as a reminder not to lump together a bunch of unrelated or misleading moments when discussing Biden's fitness as a candidate. At the very least, the media should give Carter the final say on the 2015 photo and stop recycling it for creepy Uncle Joe.
If it was
coverage.
just that one incident, then we'd say, okay, well, they have their own relationship, and he knew that it was going to be okay. But there's just so many, so it does fit into it. It is still part of the pattern, even if on that occasion it was consensual.
There's photographs that you linked me to an article, Johnson. Now, to be clear, at
Most
least one of
those
the
are probably fake.
At least one of these photos is fake, but showing 17 times Joe Biden acted like a total creep, where he's sort of lurking over some young people, teenagers to children, that do not look like they want to be there. They don't look particularly happy.
Lots of pictures of him with kids. You know?
By the way, I did pull up poll results from multiple polls. So Morning Consult, Harvard Harris, Kinnipack, Fox News, Emerson, CNN. So 6 different polls conducted in March, so relatively recent polls, showing Joe Biden the favorite of early, people who've made a decision already, right? Like, if you were voting today, who would you vote for in the Democratic primary? Biden's got it pretty strong over most of the other candidates.
I think that says a lot about the other candidates.
Maybe. Biden and Sanders have big name recognition compared to many of these other ones.
That's true.
And it's Biden at number 1, Sanders at number 2. So the average, they took 6 polls and then averaged the numbers out. But just by the way, Biden won all 6, but with the exception of one of them where he tied Sanders. But anyway, the average number, 28.8% voting for Biden, 21.8% Sanders. The third place candidate is someone named Harris with a 9.8.
Kamala.
Okay. First time I ever heard of her was, this primary was.
By the way, Bernie Sanders is 77.
Yeah, he's really old.
Yeah. Well, he's a year older than Biden.
Okay.
He's to be president for the insurance.
I suspect he's already covered.
Quite possibly.
Isn't he like a senator or something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah. So where are we going now, Johnson?
That's pretty much it. That
Okay.
just covers it. I mean, and I think look out for that. But yeah, there's a lot to not like about creepy Uncle Joe.
So obviously, with whatever amount of publicity he's had about this, it hasn't stopped him from being the number 1 candidate. He's number 1 right now. And that doesn't mean he will be in a year when the primaries and caucuses.
He probably will be because he's the worst.
You think he's the worst of all of them?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Really?
So you don't have a problem with Kamala Harris? Or
I have problems with all of them.
Yeah.
I just think he's the worst.
Your thoughts are welcome. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. And I don't think they've had a single debate yet, so there's a long way to go here.
There's going to be plenty of debates.
Yeah,
It'll
people
happen.
get all riled up over these people.
And I speak like that because I also thought that Hillary was the worst. So wait,
is he worse than Hillary, or is Hillary worse than
I actually
Biden?
do think that Hillary's worse than Biden, but I thought that they went back, when the whole campaigns were going on, I knew that it's sort of like I've always had this kind of sixth sense about who's going to take the front spot.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be Biden. I think because he's the worst. And I also thought that it would be Hillary because I thought Hillary was the worst. So they took the and they went on to take the front spot.
I wonder if for this election they'll do any of the debates live on YouTube, on the internet.
They already did.
Did they do some? They did some. Did they do debates live on YouTube before, or was it just town halls?
I'm pretty sure they did some debates live. I think what happened, correct me if I'm wrong, but if I recall correctly, they had the debates were put live on YouTube because the way it was working was there was like a feed that the networks were able to kind of pick up, and so that feed went on YouTube, basically. Whoever it was that was producing the debate produced the video, and then different networks were able to pick it up, if I recall that right.
I'd like to
Maybe I
see
don't.
them go and do a debate on alternative media instead of mainstream media.
Only on alternative
Well,
media.
at least one. Doesn't have to be only.
Who would host it?
You know, I'm not a
YouTube?
big fan of.
Is YouTube alternative media, or is that mainstream?
That's the platform. That's not one of the. It's not one of the alternative media like producers. It's not a content creator. So
well, that's not true. YouTube actually does have content that they create. They have
fair enough. They
I don't know if it was my roommate who was
Rewind.
showing me. They've got this Karate Kid thing that so like they brought back the cast from the Karate Kid movies. And
fair enough, but they're not alternative journalism.
Yeah, I don't think they have a news wing.
Right.
That's true.
Right.
But they do put money into programs. So like the slow-mo guys, I don't know if you've ever seen them. They've got a great YouTube channel.
I've seen them. I didn't know YouTube was
They've partnered with YouTube.
Ah, okay.
So they didn't start with YouTube, but then YouTube came along and they said, well, you guys are really popular, so we're going to give you some money to do some more stuff, basically. We're going to pay you to produce more content.
That's the YouTube Red series, right?
I don't think it was Red. I think they just paid them to make more content. Maybe they put some of it on the Red thing, which is like the paid version of YouTube, as I understand it. Yeah. But if you go to the Slow-Mo Guys channels, you can see they've, over the last year or so, they've put out a whole bunch of content where they teamed up with YouTube and got like bigger budgets and could do kind of like bigger things and do more of them. So YouTube's definitely funding some of the content that's on its platform.
The Slow-Mo Guys are fun to watch, I gotta say.
Yeah, they got a great channel. The toll-free number here, 855-450 free like freedom. Since we're talking about Joe Biden, let's talk about porn. Over in the UK, where did you hear about their they've got the new porn block thing where you have to like get a special pass in order to watch porn in the UK. Did you hear about this?
Yeah.
So apparently they're starting this, and well, people are upset and confused as a result of it. We'll share that with you, and you can share your thoughts with us about whatever you want. 855-450-FREE. It's Free Talk Live.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynavite for help. Order a 90-day supply of Dynavite. Pick up 2 bottles of Lico Chops, get the 3rd bottle free. New improved Lico Chops with omega-6, omega-3, vitamin E, and now 6 extra direct-fed microbials. Even better for the digestive tract and immune system. And dogs love it. Try Lico Chops. Buy 2, get 1 free. This is Henry Lukasevic for Dynavite.
DINOVITE.com.
Business owners, you want more customers? Accept cryptocurrencies. There's people all around you just waiting to spend money at your store. If only you would take it. I know, you've been waiting till someone else makes it easy. Well, good news. HelpMeTakeBitcoin.com adds Bitcoin to your point of sale. Totally free. Use the same equipment you already have, now with Bitcoin. And unlike credit cards, there's no fees. Let the guys at HelpMeTakeBitcoin.com bring new customers to your store. HelpMeTakeBitcoin.com.
Complement your health with hemp-derived cannabinoid oil. We've always believed that the closer to Earth, the better it is for our bodies. Our hemp-derived cannabinoid oil is phytocannabinoid-rich, full-spectrum, and organically grown. Finally, hemp made easy, clean, and effective. GCNhemp.com or call 877-878-4203. That's right, we cut through the red tape. It's now available at GCNhemp.com or call 877-878-4203.
The United States of Empire is a book that claims the United States is the empire of the world. George Washington had warned us against foreign wars. The United States of Empire shows that World Wars I and II left England broken. Its former colony, the U.S., had to save the empire. Was there ever a vote? Who do we fight for? The deep state began with World War I. The United States of Empire by James Dunn. Available at Amazon Books.
Are you a sneezer? If you're not, can you get close to one? I don't literally mean someone sneezing. Sneezer, as defined by marketing guru Seth Godin, is an opinion leader. When a sneezer mentions something, other people catch what Godin calls the idea virus. Seth Godin says some people are more likely to tell their friends about a great new idea. So identifying and courting sneezers is a key success factor for for idea merchants. His book, Unleashing the Idea Virus, is the most downloaded ebook in history, and you can download the whole book free. That's how he's making his idea contagious. Click tips, tricks, and other stuff to help you cut through the clutter at www.survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
It is Free Talk Live. You dial toll-free to join us here if you want to. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. 855-450-3733. We do have the Discord on-air call-in line rooms, discord.lrn.fm. Join them over there, and we'll get you on the air here with us. With you tonight, it's Ian.
I'm Laurel.
And I'm Johnson.
As we continue with your thoughts, welcome. Though I do want to thank Aaron, who is a Free Talk Live Platinum Amplifier, which means Aaron is going way above and beyond the call of duty. We ask for $5 a month. He's doing $25 a month, so thank you. At least 25. Thank you for that, Aaron. But if you want to join the AMP program, we'd appreciate it. It's a big help. It's one of those things that over the years, sadly, has actually dwindled downward. Unfortunately, the AMP program recently dropped below $2,000 a month. We'd love to get it back up to $3,000 because the more that we have on hand, the more that we can do to advertise, market, and promote Free Talk Live. So we've got just under 200 amplifiers. So those are the elite people who really back up the show, and they appreciate what we do here on Free Talk Live. They want to hear us on more radio stations. If you want to, actually, this weekend, we had a guy visiting our studio. He's a mover to New Hampshire who heard about Free Talk Live, heard of us for the first time on broadcast radio, and now he lives in New Hampshire. So we brought him in. It was actually because we had a progressive station that aired us in Ithaca, New York, which is where he's from. And so happened to hear us on the radio, heard us talking about liberty and freedom and New Hampshire, and he made the move here. And now he's coming to hang out at Social Sundays with us on occasion here in Keene, which is super cool. So there's no doubt we're reaching people with these ideas through broadcast radio. And so if you think that's valuable, if you think it's worth the price of a cheeseburger or cup of coffee, please go to amp.freetalklive.com. It's $5 a month. You can use PayPal, you can use your credit card, and if you got Bitcoin, BTC, you can use that to get signed up as well. And you get some cool perks like access to the AMP chat room on our Discord server. There's the AMP only Facebook group and other benefits as well. So go to amp.freetalklive.com. According to The Independent at independent.co.uk, frustrations posted just a few days ago is beginning to grow with the UK's new porn blocks, which will ban anyone from watching pornography in the UK until they have publicly proved themselves to be an adult. Controversial new ban has been worked on for more than a year, but it's continuing to be delayed as the government attempts to decide how exactly it should be implemented. Now, those arguing both for and against the ban have said they are irritated with the continuing mystery surrounding its introduction. The Department for Digital, Culture, Media, and Sport, That's a bureaucracy, apparently. Dismissed earlier reports the measures would come into force on April 1st, saying a commencement date will be announced shortly. Rumors had swirled in recent weeks the blocks would be imminent after a series of newspapers suggested the ban would be introduced on the 1st of April, but the date had never been confirmed and appears to have emerged amid complete confusion about when it would actually be introduced. Under the rules, adults will have to prove they are of age to view pornographic content, using one of a number of options, such as an over-the-counter card that they can buy from a shop or uploading ID documents online.
Oh,
so
awesome.
Yeah, you remember the old days when you could actually just go online and look at pornography, without having to tell anybody who you were. Now you may have to go into real life because, it used to be way back when they had porn stores. They still have them, I guess, but, they were always like in kind of like the industrial section of town, and they weren't
truck stops.
I don't know. I never actually went into one of them, but
you can see them when you're driving.
Yeah, well, as a child, I was very interested in these things. We'd drive by them on the school bus, and of course, we all wanted to know what was going on inside the Triple X building. But the doors are blacked out. The parking lots are around back, so your wife doesn't see you going to the porn store, or your boss doesn't see you going to the porn store, that kind of thing.
You know what's funny about this new rule that you're gonna have to get a porn pass to do this is it might actually make the porn industry profitable again. I've heard I've seen this on MTV, other places. People in the porn industry say that the internet basically killed it because everybody was able to see everything for free.
I don't believe that for a moment, because they still have a porn industry, right?
Right.
People are still making it, and I'm pretty sure they're not doing it for, the fun of doing it. So, there's money being made.
I wonder what it was like before, though. Has it gone down?
Has the revenue gone down?
I
doubt
wonder.
it. I don't think it has, but I've never looked closely at it. That's a good question. What is the porn revenue, the business of porn, its revenue today versus in the past?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's certainly more distributed now. Even though there's more of it that's free, it's easier to acquire now, unless, of course, you're in the UK, where they're going to try to make it more difficult. So you may have to actually go to a store and purchase a product. So now everybody at the store is going to know that you're going to go online to look at pornography, right? Because that's the only reason that you would purchase this particular product, some sort of an ID verification, basically.
Can't even say you're getting it as a gift for something.
Right,
else.
yeah, it's from my wife. So anyway, going on here, let's see. In 2018, digital minister Margot James said the UK could expect the age verification rules to be enforced by Easter of this year. Quote from an executive of a children's charity, quote, age verification measures urgently needed to help prevent children being exposed to harmful and inappropriate content need to be brought in as soon as possible. Now, I wonder if this is going to apply to the free porn sites. If you go to
they can't catch on
Pornhub?
this porn site. So I actually sent you a link on another article in regards to this that talks about all the reasons why this porn block in the UK is one of the dumbest decisions ever, and giving the technical
From Wired?
reasons, and how they're going to implement this, and it's very, very stupid.
Oh, I would love to hear more about that. We'll continue with your calls first, though, so we'll talk more about the porn.
Maybe that's the delay. They can't figure out how they're going to implement this. How's it going to work?
Yeah.
Let's go to David in San Francisco. You're on Free Talk Live, listening online. Go ahead, David.
Oh, hi.
Hi there.
Hey, by the way, can you tell I'm sitting in a car and it's pouring down rain. Can you hear it?
No, I cannot hear anything about that. So just you. Go ahead.
Good deal, yeah. Well, I don't know if you noticed it, but Trump has decided to seal up the border. He's decided to...
I heard that he was thinking about it. Has he done it?
Well, God knows.
Okay, so what I heard this morning... Hold on. What I heard this morning about this was that he was threatening to close the border if some, Congress or something didn't do what he wanted them to. Here's an update from the story. Washington reporting, the AP reporting, this published just a few hours ago. President Donald Trump eased up today on his threats to shut the southern border this week as officials across his administration explored half measures that might satisfy his urge for action, like stopping only foot traffic at certain crossings, Facing a surge of Central American migrants trying to enter the U.S., Trump last week threatened to seal the border if Mexico did not immediately halt all illegal immigration into the U.S., a move that would have enormous economic consequences on both sides of the border. While Trump today did not back off the idea completely, he said he was pleased with the steps that Mexico had taken in recent days and renewed his calls for Congress to make changes he contends would solve the problem. So basically what he said he was going to do, and now seems to thankfully be backing down from, was that he was going to close the border entirely if he didn't get his way. He basically, and the quote that I heard on the news this morning was pretty shocking, basically saying he didn't care about the economic consequences of closing the border.
Honestly, they would be pretty minimal. I mean, we would feel it.
What?
It would only be about one. It would be 25% of Mexico's GDP would be affected. It would be 1.4% of our GDP. Now, that's
Tell that
not
to
nothing.
all the people who are importing products from Mexico.
That is not nothing. 1.4% is not nothing. But compared to 25%,
for some people, it's their entire
Mexico,
business.
But compared to the 25% with Mexico, they sprung into action, and that's why he's not going to do it.
Okay, but he shouldn't do it anyway because it's the wrong thing to do. It's insane to cut off
But to
the
say
supply
that it would
of
devastate our economy just isn't true.
It
It's
would
just not
devastate
true.
the economies of all the businesses that rely on products from Mexico and
That may
trading
be
with
true.
Mexico.
But
You are
to
destroying those
devastate-
people's
It's not just that.
livelihood.
But to say
It's
that
the
it would-
individuals that
just
matter here, not some number from a high level, oversee. Go ahead, David.
Well, it's not just that it would affect the business. If say, for example, this is
Well, and
springtime.
travel and,
It's
all
planting
that.
season. It's planting season.
Mhm.
And for the last 150 years, Mexico has had people crossing the border to work the farms in America. Now, I've told you before that Donald Trump, as a real estate developer, knows how to steal land. If he cuts off the supply of workers to the farms, they're not going to get their crops in this year. And bam, Trump and his real estate buddies are going to be able to swoop in and buy a bunch of farmland at tax auction. Now, it's not just bad enough that he's doing it to the border, but he's also talking about cutting off Medicare, which means that...
Well,
if
that
you
would be
know
a
about-
plus. I mean, if he could actually get rid of government-funded health care, that would be incredible.
Now
but
you
I'm-
have Ian's attention.
I don't believe for a second that he would be serious about that, because it would be incredibly politically unpopular. That's why I don't hear those people actually talking about it. Thanks, David. More coming up.
#1 international best-selling author Matthew David Hurtado's pain was simple. Lyme disease bankrupted him in 2009, watching bankers take everything from his family after building a 7-figure business from his couch. God called him to ministry to teach prosperity based on pain he could not tolerate in others' lives. IRS, creditors, car loans, debt. It's the Babylonian system, and you have to escape it before it's too late. Haven't you ever wanted to wake up from this nightmare? Matthew David's free quick study guide shows you what to do today to build lasting wealth in any economy. His discovery he made? It's all consciousness. Get Matthew's 7-figure quick study guide for clarity, certainty, and a proven strategy to build wealth once and for all. Visit escaperightnow.com. Do it now. It's free. escaperightnow.com for a prosperous future ahead with peace of mind. escaperightnow.com.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,289, silver at $14.99, and Bitcoin is trading around $4,131. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at InnoScale.net. In the news, President Donald Trump's threat to close the southern border was met with criticism and concern from politicians, activists, the public, and Pope Francis. Trump is taking the action, he said, because of what he believes is a crisis in drug smuggling and human trafficking. In remarks to reporters Sunday, Pope Francis said that Trump and people who think the way the U.S. president does about migrants are ultimately trapping themselves in an inhumane situation.
Le persone che preferiscono costruire dei muri.
The comments preceded a tweet made by the Pope Saturday, in which he celebrated the rights of migrants to self-determination. Acting Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney, speaking to ABC News anchor John Carl Sunday, said that unless something dramatic changed, the closure would happen this week.
Democrats didn't believe us a month ago, 2 months ago, when we said what was happening at the border was a crisis, a humanitarian crisis, a security crisis.
The measure to close the border comes as the Trump administration plans to cut aid to Central American countries, a move that experts argue is almost certain to increase, not curtail, the number of immigrants at the border. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven, fighting for your right to consume plant-based medicine and natural remedies. Find out more at mybravebotanicals.com. And right now, Liberty Beat listeners can save 10% by using promo code SNLS at checkout. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat, online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. Actor Nick Cannon has announced that he will be picking up where slain Grammy-nominated artist and documentary filmmaker Nipsey Hussle left off. The Free Thought Project reports that Cannon posted a photo of himself and Hussle to Instagram Monday, noting that Hussle will never be silenced and that he, Cannon, is going to pick up the baton to finish this marathon. Hussle was gunned down in front of his Los Angeles clothing shop Sunday afternoon. He had been working on a documentary about Dr. Sebi and his claims of curing cancer and AIDS, which caused many to speculate that the documentary was the reason for Hussle's murder. Cannon, on Instagram posts, proudly exclaimed that, quote, "They can't kill us all," end quote, and there is, quote, "unfinished king business," end quote. A pro-Israel New York lawmaker has prompted outrage by tweeting that Palestine does not exist, drawing criticisms of racism and Islamophobia. The Mind Unleashed reports the incendiary comments have come under heavy fire on Twitter, and accusations of Islamophobic hypocrisy have been directed at U.S. officials, who have failed to denounce the comments in the same way they denounced Democratic Representative Ilhan Omar. Brooklyn Councilmember Coleman Yeager tweeted, quote, "Palestine does not exist. There, I said it again. Also, Congresswoman Omar is an anti-Semite. Said that too." End quote. Yeager's remark was part of a Twitter exchange with a blog writer. The author of the blog slammed the pro-Israel lawmaker for calling Congresswoman Omar an anti-Semite. Yeager hit back by repeating the racist trope that Palestine does not exist. The remark, along with the notion that there is no such thing as a Palestinian people, is part of a racist narrative that has been used to deny 11 million Palestinians their right to self-determination. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Citing their effortless physical strength, affability, and notable base tans, reports from the country's pools, lakes, and beaches have indicated that once again, the nation's Blakes coasted effortlessly through this year's seasonal lifeguard tryouts. Onion reporters spoke with Cincinnati Centennial Pool's manager, Charles Walker, about the exceptional performance of his Blakes.
We always see strong performances from Blakes, but this year's crop did especially well. Blake D did the 25-yard underwater swim in 86 seconds. Blake S and Blake C both carried subjects 40 yards without breaking a sweat.
In addition to qualifying as pool managers and certified aquatics instructors, the nation's Blakes significantly outshined the nation's stewards in swimming, performing CPR, diving, and glistening.
I'm definitely looking forward to being a lifeguard this summer. I heard the test was kind of hard, but it was actually kind of easy.
Our Kaylas are looking pretty strong too. As long as we have a few Blakes and Kaylas out there on the weekends, we'll be set.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It's Free Talk Live, launching into the third hour of the program. You're invited to join us here, as always. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We've got the Discord on-air call-in line rooms. Just go to discord.lrn.fm. You can join any one of those rooms, and we will join you in there. But if you're in the room, you ought to be listening to your Discord rather than to the stream. I know that's hard to do because, like, if we pick up and you're not there and we're asking for you, then you're not going to get on. So you gotta kind of pay attention. Anyway, discord.lrn.fm. With you tonight, it's Ian.
I'm Laurel.
And I'm Johnson.
In the last hour, we went into a story about the UK's porn block that they are purportedly putting into effect. Some people thought it was going to be April 1st, but it doesn't appear that it was. It appears that there's a large amount of confusion as to exactly how this new system is going to work. When we talked about it previously, there was discussion of anybody who wanted to purchase porn or go to a porn site would have to verify that they are of age. Now, the old way this used to be done on the internet was, well, if you have got a credit card, then obviously you're 18 years old, so just put your credit card information in and we'll verify you. But of course, that doesn't mean that, your son can't take your credit card out of your, his mom's purse and then put all the information in, and he's 18, right? So the UK wanted to go further than that requirement, and they've come up with some sort of system. It's not really clear exactly how it's going to work.
Sounds like they haven't come up with a system.
Well, they purported to, but it's not clear exactly what it was. Supposedly, you would go and buy an actual proof that you're show proof to someone at a physical location.
This article I've got talks about how it will work.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've got something from Wired, which is a good source for that.
So it asks, how will the UK porn block work? Well,
this is fresh, by the way, within the last couple of weeks. This is a new story.
So when you visit porn that uses age checks, the website will show a landing page that doesn't have any 18-plus content on it. At present, some websites that host porn already have landing pages that ask users to click a button to say that they're over 18. However, anyone can click these buttons, and there aren't any checks to confirm their age. Under the new regulation, websites will be required to adopt an age verification system.
Now, just to be clear, not every website's based in the UK. So the idea is if you want to be available in the UK as a porn site, you will have to put in one of these age verification systems. Or otherwise, they're going to block you, because that's the only way they can do this, is to have a nationwide blocking system to filter out porn sites that are not compliant.
Right. So it says the systems will require users to verify their email address and then their age using a variety of options, such as SMS, credit card, passport, or your driving license. Some systems will also offer a porn pass you can purchase from a local shop. It's a simple idea, and like many simple ideas, they come from simple people. I added that part. It almost sounds plausible until you get into the details.
Well, like if you have a a provider in the United States and somebody in the UK giving their driver's license number, how does the US provider verify
So
it?
they have systems. So there's online verification systems that have, the ability to scan licenses from across various different jurisdictions.
That's really terrifying.
If you go, it's creepy.
Oh, yeah,
If you go, the first place I saw these were actually on like Bitcoin exchanges. So when you go and sign up for different Bitcoin exchanges, they have this like Orwellian identification verification check program that that it's not the website that runs this thing. It's a provider that they've contracted with that has whatever database access that they need to, verify that you are indeed Laurel Scott from, New Hampshire, and that this is your license. Somehow you just take a picture of your license, then take a picture of the backside, you upload it to this thing, and this Orwellian eyeball like spins, and then it's, either approves you or it doesn't. So they've figured that out.
Wow.
Well, Wired continues to say here, until you get into the details, and then you start to realize that the porn block is one of the worst ideas ever invented. Let's count the ways.
Oh, good.
First one, it won't work.
Yeah, duh. Welcome to the internet.
There are literally millions of porn websites, unless you create some kind of government version of Facebook's nipple ban, which, to be clear, is a terrible idea. You're not going to catch all of them. What's more, because the UK is the only country in the world mad enough to introduce a porn block, anyone with a VPN, which can make it seem like you're in another country, can get around it. Now, you might say...
Well, now, hold on. They could try to block VPNs.
Potentially, and that would also be ludicrous.
Yeah.
But it says, now you might say that doesn't matter as long as the porn block catches most people, it's still worth it. And this, presumably, is what the government is thinking.
Right, because anybody who is has the intent, anybody who wants to get around, especially a young person who was raised with the internet, and unlike these, old politicians who don't know a thing about it, can easily find their way around any kind of blocks.
So they say, although to be honest, it's not entirely clear what they're thinking. This is the kind of policy where crucial announcements, like the fact that the original rollout was delayed from April 2018 until the end of 2018 or later, it's still not
Still
rolled
waiting.
out, to get out a press release on the telecoms infrastructure on a Saturday with a tweet. And the trouble with this idea of catching most people is that it fails to take into account the unintended consequences, which brings us to problem number 2. It will encourage illegal behavior. When you hire a bouncer to crack down on kids drinking in the local pub, you don't get a sudden rise in homework. You get a surge in fake IDs and drinking in the park.
That's a great point.
The porn block will do the same thing online, pushing kids towards streaming sites stuffed with malware, creepy subreddits, and places on the dark web that sell credit card details, because it seems as if age verification system is going to use credit cards as its basis. It's a classic case of driving legal behavior underground, making it a whole lot dodgier than it was in the first place. To quote a recognized authority in this area, adults, and some children, may be pushing towards using Tor, the Onion Router, and related systems to avoid age verification, where they could be exposed to illegal and extreme material that they otherwise would have come into contact with. The name of that authority? The government's own impact assessment. So, I mean, it's just kind of that, yeah.
That's a great point. When you outlaw
you're
a
going to
thing,
black market it, essentially.
Right.
it puts it in the black market. Now, of course, all porn won't be created in the black market. It'll still be created in the the legal markets and wherever it's legal to make porn, like in the U.S., California, New Hampshire, I believe, are the two states where it's legal to produce pornography. And so we'll still likely
Not Nevada?
I have not heard Nevada is one of the states, but I've heard it's California and New Mexico or New Hampshire. So correct me if I'm wrong on that. That's not to say it isn't made in other places without permission, but it's not legal to do that in those other places. But they're going to try their damnedest to do this blocking, and I think that one. And I don't know if I haven't read this article, Johnson. I don't know if they get to it, but in order to block the sites, they're going to have a blocked sites list, and that means that that list can expand. It may start with just porn, but maybe it'll eventually expand to include bomb making instructions or other things things that the government doesn't want you to have access to.
Right.
So I think that's one of the scariest aspects of this, regardless of how you feel about pornography. If you don't protect people's rights, the old free speech argument here, if you don't protect people's right to speech that you find unpleasant, then eventually the speech that you support may end up on the blocked list. Yeah. So look out.
Kind of part of number 3, which is this is a massive database of everyone's tastes in porn. The moment, unless you're Facebook or Google, it's actually pretty hard to match up someone's real identity to their online behavior, unless that is you make people log into your site with their real name, real email address, and real credit card details, which is exactly what this legislation will force people to do. So this database is going to be massive. Remember when Ashley Madison was hacked? It had to pay out $11 million in compensation to 33 million people. Pornhub, the world's most visited porn website, had 64 million visitors per day in 2017. And the UK is its second biggest traffic driver.
So if the UK is its second largest client as far as its customers are concerned, then that suggests Pornhub's going to follow these regulations. I wonder what they're saying about it. There's more coming up here in moments. You got more on the points of why this is a terrible idea. And we'll continue that in moments on Free Talk Live.
Did you know you can legally exit the U.S. federal income tax system? Well, it's true, and thousands of American nationals are doing it. The 16th Amendment and the Internal Revenue Code are legal, but only in a limited jurisdiction. This is the basis behind the voluntary nature of the income tax. Learn the exit strategy provided by Congress. Find out more by visiting weissparis.com and watch our numerous videos. That's WEISS Paris.com.
Bitcoin.com is delighted to announce their latest partnership with the gift card specialists at eGifter. With many of the world's leading brands on their roster, it is now easier than ever to get the gift cards of your favorite brands with Bitcoin Cash. To get started, just follow these simple steps. Visit giftcards.bitcoin.com, pick the gift card you want, follow the instructions on your screen, and make your payment using your Bitcoin Cash wallet. Sit tight and your gift card will be delivered to you as soon as it's ready. That's giftcards.bitcoin.com.
Would you like to hang out with Penn Jillette? He's keynoting Freedom Fest this year. I, for one, am thrilled. Freedom Fest is the largest liberty-oriented gathering in the world. They take a Big Ten approach with libertarians, conservatives, liberals, anarchists, capitalists, and just open-minded people mingling together to hear real debates, share real solutions, and converse freely. This year's theme is the Wild West, a time of liberty and opportunity, or a time of anarchy and violence. Maybe both. Go to freedomfest.com/FTL and get your tickets now. freedomfest.com/FTL. Not convinced yet? Hey, I understand. It's a high-end event, even with coupon code FTLEB. Sure, you're likely to receive investment advice that'll make that sum seem paltry, but I have something special for you. Go to freedomfest.com/FTL and you'll get the 5 best speeches from last year for free. Call it a test drive. Do yourself a favor and go to freedomfest.com/FTL. freedomfest.com/FTL. Use coupon code FTLEB for a discount.
Free Talk Live.
They have satellite image pictures of cities on the moon.
No, they
and
don't.
Of course yes, they do.
That's a load of garbage. I've never heard of any such thing. A quick Google search would reveal whatever these lame-o pictures are supposed to be, which, of course, you yourself have never done, right? You've never seen these alleged photos, correct?
No, but it's actually the...
Why would you go around saying that there are pictures of cities on the moon if you yourself have never seen them?
Well, because I heard it on a late night, 2 o'clock in the morning when I used to have that show here.
Yeah, you're talking about the overnight kook show? Coast to Coast. Coast to Coast.
Yeah, they banned that show 5 years ago.
No, they didn't.
But I used to stay up.
Who's they?
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
Did you know you can legally exit the U.S. federal income tax system?
Well, it's true, and thousands of American nationals are doing it. The 16th Amendment and the Internal Revenue Code are legal, but only in a limited jurisdiction. This is the basis behind the voluntary nature of the income tax. Learn the exit strategy provided by Congress. Find out more by visiting weissparis.com and watch our numerous videos. That's WEISS Paris.com.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. Dial toll free. Bring up what you want. Our number is 855-450 free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We do have the Discord on-air call-in line rooms. You can join one of those and talk about whatever you want. Although we are discussing a porn block that is purportedly being put into effect in the UK. And, you know, there are some serious problems with this. In fact, Wired magazine is getting into some of the reasons why this is a terrible idea, beyond the obvious freedom implications of, hey, it's, you know, supposed to be a free internet. You're supposed to be able to put whatever content you want online, and people should be able to voluntarily choose to download it if that's what they want to do. But these politicians love to use the children as their excuse to try to control what people do on the internet. And of course, that's the basis of this claim, is that there's porn on the internet and it's bad and kids are on the internet, and so therefore you need to buy a porn pass in order to be able to get access to porn if you're in the UK. That's their proposal. These passes will be available apparently in physical form, but you can also go through one of these adult verification providers online to verify via some means, purportedly credit card, passport, some sort of identification, because, you know, your kids couldn't possibly pull your passport or your credit card out of your purse or desk drawer.
That
or
would
wherever.
never happen.
No, they would never do that.
Incidentally, I double-checked, and the legality of shooting pornography has only been court-tested in California and New Hampshire. That doesn't mean it's expressly illegal in other states. It's just that it's only in these two states where we know it's okay.
Well, it may be illegal under like obscenity statutes or different interpretations.
You're getting paid for sex.
Right.
So now that I've done a search on my computer in what states can I shoot porn, I wonder what algorithms will give me for advertising based on my interests from my internet
Here's some
search.
video cameras you can buy. So I was curious about, you know, what's Pornhub going to do about this, Johnson? Because just to interrupt your story on Wired, I think we're on like point 3 or 4. There is a story from Vice.com's Motherboard about how apparently India apparently revived an order that blocked pornographic websites. The story here is that in 2015, the Indian government ordered, which is according to this story, Pornhub is number 3 in, as far as their number 3 country is India. So you mentioned the UK is number 2. India is their number 3. And in 2015, the Indian government ordered the country's internet service providers to block access to 857 websites that were found to host pornographic content, citing a threat to morality and decency. After an uproar on social media from citizens, as well as confusion and resistance from the ISPs themselves, the Ministry of Electronics and IT reversed the order less than 1 week later. To get around the blocks, Pornhub set up a mirror website, a copy that replicates their existing site at pornhub.net. So Pornhub wasn't just going to sit idly by and lose however many millions of users they had from India. They just put up a new URL.
And their new URL is almost identical to their other one. So
that's right.
Their plan wasn't even that clever, and it still worked.
Yeah.
Which tells you that these lawmakers who are doing this just can't figure this internet stuff out.
Right. So let's go on, Johnson, with you were sharing from Wired.com some of the reasons why this is dumb stuff.
Dumb stuff. The reason number 4 is the companies doing the checks. Government decided not to implement the porn block itself, but to leave it up to the industry. One company working on a solution is called MindGeek. It developed something called Age ID, basically a checkpoint for age, and for a fee, it's offering to sell this to other companies. It expects to verify 25 million users in the first month. What MindGeek doesn't mention, literally anywhere on its website is that the owner of the world's biggest porn sites, including Pornhub, YouPorn, and RedTube, we're asking pornographers to protect you from porn. We're also giving MindGeek, via its Age ID system, a free pass to collect everyone's information. According to Age ID's privacy policy, this is limited to an email address and password, which are protected via a salted one-way hash. A previous version of the privacy policy, which MindGeek states can be updated at any time, claimed that the company could collect names, addresses, date of birth, and browsing data. The company's the privacy implications are mind-boggling, especially since if MindGeek uses credit cards as the basis for Age ID, you're requiring people effectively to announce the fact that they are looking at porn to the credit card companies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Not to mention giving MindGeek a huge credit card database as well, which I'm sure they won't keep.
And as we know from Operation Choke Point, that the financial industry has been used to decide the morals of other people.
To target certain industries.
To target certain industries and even certain individuals at this point.
So number 5 here we've kind of already touched on, but the porn block risks censorship. After a great deal of indecision,
it's guaranteed.
At the start of 2018, it was confirmed that the British Board of Film Classification, the BBFC, would become the regulator for age verification. This is the body that sets the age restrictions, PG, 12, 18,
for movies
on films in the UK.
Yeah.
This is an odd decision because the BBFC is not a digital expert. It's a 106-year-old censor established to ensure films remained free of indecorous dancing. References to controversial politics and men and women in bed together.
Oh my.
And this history is extremely relevant because it's not hard to see how the porn block could turn into something even more restrictive. The government has form here because in 2014 it passed a law banning a long, arbitrary, and frankly sexist list of sexual acts for online films in the UK, including, well...
The list should be pretty interesting.
I don't know if you could say that.
I mean, there are clinical terms, but I'm just going to go ahead and skip this list for safety's sake.
Thanks for that.
The reason for these last...
A list of sexual positions is what it is, right?
Now I got to look.
Can you beat around the bush, so to speak? Are we talking about sexual positions?
That might be one of them. No, just... Yeah. So, something involving a closed hand.
Oh, dear.
Something involving
sex organs.
Yes, something involving the face.
Okay.
And it
Did I
being
see one
used
involving
as
animals?
a seating device.
Yep. Okay.
And something that is typically attributed to males, but is the product of a female in this case.
Gotcha.
Would be the 3 that were banned. The reason for the last 2 were given, of course, that they were life endangering. So the C word censorship here gets thrown around a lot in debates online, not always that sensibly, and it's important to note that this list won't be included in the porn block, but it's worth thinking
not yet.
Yeah, not yet. About the government's prudish distinction between acceptable and sex and unacceptable sex.
Anybody who's ever looked at government and, how state programs work should know by now that whenever a government program is created, it never stays in its created form.
This is a great quote. As campaigner Miles Jackman puts it, pornography is the canary in the coal mine of free speech.
Right.
It is the first freedom to die. If this assault on liberty is allowed to go unchallenged, other freedoms will fall as a consequence.
Exactly. We got more on the way. A couple more points?
One more point.
All right. On the way, you can share your thoughts too. Free Talk Live.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Sling bow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of sling bow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Complement your health with hemp-derived cannabinoid oil. We've always believed that the closer to Earth, the better it is for our bodies. Our hemp-derived cannabinoid oil is phytocannabinoid-rich, full-spectrum, and organically grown. Finally, hemp made easy, clean, and effective. GCNhemp.com or call 877-878-4203. That's right, we cut through the red tape. It's now available at GCNhemp.com or call 877-878-4203.
Would you like to hang out with Penn Jillette? He's keynoting Freedom Fest this year. I, for one, am thrilled. Freedom Fest is the largest liberty-oriented gathering in the world. They take a Big Ten approach with libertarians, conservatives, liberals, anarchists, and just open-minded people mingling together to hear real debates, share real solutions, and converse freely. This year's theme is the Wild West, a time of liberty and opportunity, or a time of anarchy and violence. Maybe both. Go to freedomfest.com/FTL and get your tickets now. freedomfest.com/FTL. Not convinced yet? Hey, I understand. It's a high-end event, even with coupon code FTLEB. Sure, you're likely to receive investment advice that'll make that sum seem paltry, but I have something special for you. Go to freedomfest.com/FTL and you'll get the 5 best speeches from last year for free. Call it a test drive. Do yourself a favor and go to freedomfest.com/FTL. freedomfest.com/FTL. Use coupon code FTLEB for a discount.
Should you be able to earn an honest living free from senseless government interference? The Institute for Justice thinks so. That's why we've spent years defending hard-working men and women from pointless government regulations. Nationwide, IJ has created opportunity by reducing government power, but there is still more work to be done. Visit our website today at ij.org. Let IJ take care of the government so you can take care of your business.
Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Now you can follow LRN.FM on the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You dial toll-free, bring up what you want here. Our number 855-450-FREE. Like freedom, that's 855-450-3733. We do have the Discord on-air call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm. In fact, we're going to go to one of those here in just a moment. And with you in the studio tonight, it's Ian.
I'm Laurel.
And I'm Johnson.
Don't forget, you can watch us on our Twitch channel over at twitch.lrn.fm. I had Horn Solo in our Discord chat asking about the goal that we're trying to reach 75 viewers on Twitch. Not an easy thing to do. And we're still relatively new. We've only been there for about a year, just over a year, and we've got not quite 800 followers yet. So, I mean, basically that would be asking 10% of our followers to be watching constantly, and I think that's probably a little high. So we're going to have to we got more growing to do before we can reach that goal. But he'd asked about like how often you have to have the 75. As I understand it, you have to basically have 75 any old time you're streaming.
Oh yeah.
Or maybe it's an average or something like that. So maybe if we, if
it's
we hit
average. It's an average viewership of 75. So you would have to have.
So we can have some streams that are like 100 or 300 or something, and then maybe lower streams that would push us up.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, like when you start a stream, you don't have 75 right out the gate. You start with 8.
You're gonna probably need to be able to look over at that search box for the most part and see above 100.
Yeah, to get there
for it to work. Yeah.
So that's over a 30-day period.
Yeah, 30 days.
So it has to be sustained, and it basically has to be any time you're streaming. So if we stream it, if I decide to get on and stream a video game at 2 in the morning, which every now and then I'll do, which I mean, very rarely, but I'll do it. It's going to be harder to pull 75 people in the middle of the night, for instance. So that restriction sort of discourages streaming in a way, right? Like, so if I know that the game streams don't do as well as the talk show streams, then I'm less likely to do the game stream.
Well, the idea behind it, I think, is that Twitch, first of all, if you're a partner, they're going to pay you, right? So they're looking for...
No. They pay you extra out of the subscription money. So what happens is when you get to Twitch affiliate, which is kind of the first tier of, you're at the new level kind of thing. When you get to Twitch affiliate, you can then receive subscriptions to your channel, and that's where people will pay Twitch $5 a month. Twitch removes the video ads that they play on the channel, because normally when you first go and tune in, there's like a pre-roll that plays. You will not see those ads as a subscriber, but Twitch keeps half of the subscription money. So the channel gets half of it.
That's
it's
a
a
lot.
50-50 split. If you get to the Twitch partner level, I believe it goes from $2.50 per $5 subscription to $3 or $3.50 or something like that. So there's a slight boost in that. One of the other, that's not to me the goal of that, because again, if you want to help Free Talk Live, amp the show, because then we'll get 90% instead of 50, because then only the credit card fee or the PayPal fee is what comes out of the AMP money. So if you're looking to maximize your support of the show, please go to amp.freetalklive.com. But being a Twitch partner also means you can get featured on their front page of their website.
You also get different, higher quality video.
You get more transcoding options.
Yep, you get access to partner spotlights, meet and greets, partner panels, streamer zones, more offers for sponsorships and different advertising.
And it's not a guarantee. Once you hit that 75, then they assess you as to whether or not.
Yeah.
So it won't happen right away. It's not going to be like we cross that 75 mark for 30 days and then all of a sudden we get the Twitch partner. Then they take a look at you and they say, oh, well, is this real? Like, are they buying views? Do they actually have chatters chatting in the chat room?
It's sort of like what happened when I first got monetized with YouTube is I hit 1,000 and I thought instantly I would get ads. They said, no, when you hit 1,000, then we review you. We'll get back to you in a month or two.
Yeah, so we're trying to hit that level, and so please follow our Twitch channel over at twitch.lrn.fm. We appreciate it. It's another way for you to listen to and to watch the show. And if you really want to go above and beyond the Call of Duty, then please leave a browser tab open to that channel 24/7. If you got a computer that's on 24/7, just leave the tab open. If you don't have a computer that's on 24/7, if you got a laptop that you close down every now and then, if you want to leave a tab open there, it'll still help us a little bit, because when you're there, they have some way of detecting that you're there, and that helps, because then you'll be an additional viewer, and the more viewers we have, the higher our ranking will be on the talk shows category. And I mean, like right now, we're sometimes in the top 15 on the talk shows, depending on the night. But if we have 100 viewers or more, then we will more frequently be like in the top 5, basically. So that means more people will find us, which means they'll find the ideas of freedom. So you can look at it as activism as well. So please go to twitch.lrn.fm. Let's go to Rob listening in Maine. We got one more point on the reasons why this UK porn block is a terrible idea from Wired. But Rob, you're up first. Go ahead.
Hi. I was just listening to your news feed about the guy that was saying that there was no Palestine.
Who?
Who was that?
I'm sorry. What news feed was saying what about Palestine?
Your news feed.
Who's you?
Saying that there's...
Are you listening on the internet?
Yeah, on the internet.
Via what means?
Pardon me?
How are you listening online?
On YouTube.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't listening to the news, so I don't know what it was saying. So what was the claim?
I was saying that they're talking about anti-Semitic and how there is no Palestine. I mean, that's a large contingent of people, say that Palestinians are just that they have no claim to that land. And
okay.
I just wanted to bring up that, like, I remember Shalomet Alomi. She was on Democracy Now. She's an Israeli Knesset minister, and she says that anti-Semitic, it's a trick that we always use it. And see, not all Jewish people are together on this whole thing. But,
well, that's a shock. Are you telling me that people are individuals and they have different opinions about things?
Yeah,
shocking.
Even among Jewish people.
Yeah.
But, the
well, that's what I keep trying to
Jews,
explain to these racists out there, is that people are different. Just because somebody was born Jewish doesn't mean anything about them. It doesn't mean anything about what they believe or who they are as an individual. And racists
I don't
always
know,
ignore
man.
that.
I'm 0.2% Jewish. Clearly, that means that I'm 0.2% chosen.
Well, the Ashkenazi Jews, they're not really, they don't have a drop of King David's blood in them. They're not Hebrew at all.
Oh, so you're crushing my dreams right now. My whole 2.2%, and you're just saying it's not even, I don't even get 0.2% chosen. That's just mean, man.
They're from the South Caucasus, like Georgia. It's Georgia right now. And that's according to a Benjamin Friedman. He's a Jewish historian. He says that the word Jew didn't even come into existence until 1775. And there was even a DNA study done by Hebrew University back, 20 years ago, that there's a close genetic connection between the Jews and the Kurds, not the Hebrews. So for them to call other people anti-Semitic is like, it's absurd,
So you're saying Jews aren't Jews?
Right. Yeah, isn't that kind of ironic? And then when you have, I remember the chief rabbi of Israel, Yosef, he had the largest funeral in Israeli history back 2012, 13, something like that. And he was going around saying that non-Jews are donkeys created to serve the Jews. And I read in the Jerusalem Post itself that he said that the basic function of a goy, which is us, is to serve Jews. You talk about
Well, it's not a surprise that some people
kingdom.
who, there's racists everywhere. So there's racists who are like Chris Cantwell,
This is
who
their
are
chief rabbi, who's a racist.
there's all kinds of racists.
It sounds like a very unusual minority opinion. I've never ever heard any Jew say that ever.
I've heard the white supremacists citing things like that. So obviously there are people who are Jewish who believe those things in the same way that there are extremist Muslims who believe in, using violence against people, and there are extreme Christians who believe in some crazy crap. I mean, there's all kinds of lunatics out there.
I had an amusing thought to bring up that I had the other day. I was thinking, a lot of people make the argument that something can't be racist unless it's institutionalized, that the only kind of racism that actually exists is institutionalized racism, right? Then that's why, people who are of a minority culture cannot be possibly racist. Only whites can be racist. And I was thinking, well, now that Jussie Smollett got off, does that mean that now black people can be racist? Because that was definitely institutionalized racism for the fact that he was able to go free after doing what he did.
Rob, thanks for the call tonight. Racism exists all over the place, and it's despicable. More coming up.
Did you know you can legally exit the U.S. federal income tax system? Well, it's true, and thousands of American nationals are doing it. The 16th Amendment and the Internal Revenue Code are legal, but only in a limited jurisdiction. This is the basis behind the voluntary nature of the income tax. Learn the exit strategy provided by Congress. Find out more by visiting weissparis.com and watch our numerous videos. That's WEISS Paris.com.
Go to themorganreport.com and receive updates and insights you will not find anywhere else on the web. You will discover how to grow and protect your wealth under all market conditions. The free Morgan Report provides interviews, webinars, question and answer sessions, plus mind-blowing videos. As David Morgan says, let my passion create your wealth. TheMorganReport.com. TheMorganReport.com.
Know someone with a drinking or drug problem? Learn how to get sober after we've shared these stories.
I was 35 with 2 beautiful children when my life and addiction started to spiral out of control. After my divorce, I went into a depression cycle and started drinking more often and using prescription drugs. After my second DWI and arrest, my ex-husband threatened to take our children away from me.
I was 17 when I became addicted to heroin and meth. I thought I could quit on my own, but I couldn't. It hit me when I was arrested.
Get sober now. Your private insurance may cover costs and we'll get you here. It's simple. Just call Elite Rehab Placement right now. Please don't wait. Your life matters to us. 800-213-9264. 800-213-9264. 800-213-9264. Call right now before it's too late. 800-213-9264.
Hi, I'm Derek J. I don't want a politician to represent me. To me, government is the idea that one group of people can coerce everyone to comply with an edict or face increasing punishments up to and including death. Despite perhaps the most noble of intentions, the best government services are a far cry from what could be provided for by voluntary interactions. Besides, the people who call themselves the government wage wars and put peaceful people in jail for crimes involving no victims. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com.
There are basically 2 types of advertising, direct response and branding. Radio is great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
It's Free Talk Live. You are invited here to join us. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. Like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. You can get interactive online. We do have a Free Talk Live forum in which you can interact with other Free Talk Live listeners. Yeah, there's the Discord chat, and that's more popular, but the forum is different because it's more organized. You know, you can organize by topic over time rather than in the immediacy of a chat room. So go to forum.freetalklive.com. You can explore that there. It's free, like so many of the features on our website. Once again, it's forum.freetalklive.com. Ian and Laurel and Johnson in the studio tonight. We still have one more on this list of reasons why the UK porn ban or porn lockout or whatever you want to call it, this proposal that they've got that's supposedly coming very soon to the UK is a terrible idea. So hopefully we'll get to that. But first we go to your calls and thoughts. Gene, the Christian anarchist, starting things out here. Go ahead, Gene.
Hey, I'm going to change gears here and talk about something that really interests me, and I find it an important topic for us to learn about so that we can defeat this social engineering and brainwashing. And I see a lot of it because of my time that I spend in China and back here, and I was watching a somebody else who also spent like 10 years in China talking about the same subject. And that is that the people in China, you can see this if you go there, they have a different way of reacting and thinking than the people in the USA. And I don't want to get into a lot of details, but I mean, this is, I can give you an example if you'd like.
Is it different better or different or different worse?
I don't know. I don't think it's better, but that's, I'm looking at it from my perspective.
There's not a whole lot of thinkers in the United States either, as far as the way people react to things.
Right. And that's one of the things I do is I compare their brainwashing to our brainwashing. And it is important for us all to realize that there is brainwashing or social engineering going on every day, and we don't realize it because it's so subtle that we don't really pick up on it. And you really see it when you go to another culture and you see because then it's obvious. You see things like, in China, for instance, for years when I was going to China, they said, oh, don't put paper in the toilet. It won't go down the toilet,
Right.
Toilet paper, which makes no sense because, if fecal matter is going to go down that toilet paper is going to go down that toilet as long as you don't overload it. And so I always flushed it down and never had an issue, and for 25 years. But now they're trying to convince people in China to flush their paper because, it's a filthy, disgusting thing to not flush your paper because it's going in typically a trash can next to the toilet.
It was the same thing in Central America. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they do that too, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a dumb idea. I don't know where it came from.
It's because they used to use newspaper, and newspaper will clog your toilet.
Oh my!
And I do think that's where it came from, was newspaper. But I mean, nobody in China has used newspaper for, ever since I've started going there 25 years ago.
Some people would say that's the appropriate use of a newspaper, but it sounds a little uncomfortable.
But the point is, the social conditioning was there, and it's been strong up until just recently, and now they're trying to convince everybody, it's okay to do that now.
Mm-hmm.
The plumbing didn't change. They have
Right.
the same toilet. They have the same plumbing lines. Nothing has changed, except now they're trying to change the conditioning of the people. And that's just one example from China. I could give you a bunch of others, but we're not here for that.
So you're saying it's difficult. It's not working. It's not an easy thing to do.
Right. And the point I'm trying to make is we have social conditioning here and we don't see it because just like the Chinese didn't see it about the toilet paper, we don't see it here because of the way it's snuck in on us. But we need to start to critically analyze things that we're taught and things that we hear. And a good place to start is the news media and the government because they always lie. So you can pretty much count on not believing anything they say. So if they tell me the sky is blue, I have to go out and look and make sure, because I don't believe these guys.
Well, Ian's ahead of the game with that one. He never believes them. So we're good there.
Yes, Ian is doing very good in that regard. I have, and that's it. That's all I wanted to do is I just want to get people to realize that we have social conditioning in this country as well. And we need to try and break it. And the only way we're going to break it is by trying to educate ourselves. And one of the biggest things is taking the idea of liberty and using it in every single area of our life, because I believe that liberty is the way to go with everything. And everything that's not liberty is pretty much wrong. And that's a part of social conditioning so that people can have power over us.
Well, it is important to break social norms, I think. And this can result in some violence. This can result in people being very angry if you break certain social norms. And I think whenever you get the chance to do it, you ought to, just because it shakes people to some extent out of their slumber. It makes them, like, whoa, what was it that you said? Like the guy that, the nice gentleman who was installing the air conditioner here, one of them that, came in, he was just, trying to make conversation, asking if I had interviewed any of the presidential candidates, because he was in a talk show studio, right? And my response was like something to the effect of, yeah, I would never want to talk to those people. Just he wasn't expecting that response from a talk show host, right? Because a talk show host would normally be like all proud of the yes, I spoke with this guy over here and this guy over there, and I'm that important. And like, I'm not interested in any one of these politicians and what it is that they have to say. And then opening that discussion up kind of led to a discussion about what Free Talk Live was about. Well, if we're not about talking to politicians, which seems to be what most talk shows are all about. If you ever listen to talk radio, it's like just name dropping politicians, and these talk show hosts just want to seem so important and so connected with all of the political world. Whereas here, we're not interested in them in any way, shape, or form. So that led to another discussion about, what the show was about. And I explained that it was libertarian, and he had a very positive response to that. I don't think he was expecting that at all. But, we're here in New Hampshire where people tend to love freedom. And so when, he heard that the show was actually in favor of freedom, that was, a pleasant exchange, an encounter. And it was because I kind of, broke the typical conversation of what was happening there. Or it could just simply be, smoking pot in Central Square, going topless as a female. I think it's important to break social norms to get conversations started and to get people out of their usual modes of thinking. So I tend to agree with you on that.
The other big area of social engineering and brainwashing, of course, is most religions. Mm-hmm. And this is one, as a Christian anarchist, I always try to talk to people who claim to be Christians, and I say, well, okay, why do we believe this? Why do we believe that? Is this really as accurate as we think it is? And I try to put these ideas in people. I don't confront people, and I don't call them names and, get in a big, mean argument. In fact, if the argument gets too heated, I just drop it and move on, because at that point, you're just wasting your breath. But if you can talk to people about it and say, well, why do we believe this? Mm-hmm. What is that about this that you think is real, and what part do you think maybe isn't real? Because I've often talked to people about, why do you think the Bible is 100% right? How in the world can that document have existed for as long as it has without having political influence put into those?
Oh, you blasphemous man. You're not making friends with that viewpoint.
I do get Christian some problems with that.
Hey, Gene, thanks for the call tonight. Good points. Appreciate hearing from you. And if you want to join us here, you can. We're going to go to another one. Okay, we got to turn that down because he's still listening to whatever it is he's listening to. Bad Slave is on the line with us here on the Discord server. Bad Slave?
Yeah, I'm here.
Go ahead. You're on the air.
Well, thank you, Ian, Laurel, and Johnson. I wanted to speak with Laurel again.
Okay.
Again, about the nature of the New Hampshire Bar Association, as well as all the other bar associations.
All right, I'm going to tell you, you got about 30 seconds. You've got less than 30 seconds to make whatever point or question. Go ahead.
Really? Well, I think that there ought to be competing accrediting organizations, just to use your word, Ian, and as that, because I think that the actual objectives of the Bar Association are not anywhere near producing justice.
Well, you can't really get a whole lot of good service out of a monopolistic organization. Quick comments on that, Laurel?
I think I'm in favor of some sort of accreditation, but it doesn't have to be the way that it is now.
Would you like to see competition?
Yes.
Okay. There you go. You got some agreement there, Bad Slave. Thanks for the call. We'll see you tomorrow night. You can join us online in the meantime over at freetalklive.com. I'll share that article on our social media at twitter.freetalklive.com and toot.freetalklive.com about the UK porn ban, so you can get the rest of that. We'll see you tomorrow.
This is a special alert for business owners, consultants, coaches, folks planning retirement, entrepreneurs, and anyone who is saving and investing to build a financial future. You are likely aware that financial privacy for most people has recently died a miserable death. And let's face it, without privacy, there really is no security, is there? Bankrupt governments and banks on the verge of collapse are perhaps the biggest threat to your financial future today. The Lighthouse Law Club recognizes this and has been working diligently to provide safe, secure, and productive tools to ensure your privacy, your financial security, and your future financial well-being. despite the catastrophes which many people fear are looming ahead of us. Find out more with a variety of free videos on the YouTube channel for Lighthouse Law Club. Just search YouTube for Lighthouse Law Club and secure your future today.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
The latest episode of Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock is next after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,289. Silver at $14.99, and Bitcoin is trading around $4,131. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, President Donald Trump's threat to close the southern border was met with criticism and concern from politicians, activists, the public, and Pope Francis. Trump is taking the action, he said, because of what he believes is a crisis in drug smuggling and human trafficking. In remarks to reporters Sunday, Pope Francis said that Trump and people who think the way the U.S. president does about migrants are ultimately trapping themselves in an inhumane situation.
Le persone che preferiscono costruire dei muri.
The comments preceded a tweet made by the Pope Saturday, in which he celebrated the rights of migrants to self-determination. Acting Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney, speaking to ABC News anchor John Carl Sunday, said that unless something dramatic changed, the closure would happen this week.
Democrats didn't believe us a month ago, 2 months ago, when we said what was happening at the border was a crisis, a humanitarian crisis, a security crisis.
The measure to close the border comes as the Trump administration plans to cut aid to Central American countries, a move that experts argue is almost certain to increase, not curtail, the number of immigrants at the border. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven, fighting for your right to consume plant-based medicine and natural remedies. Find out more at mybravebotanicals.com. And right now, Liberty Beat listeners can save 10% by using promo code SNLS at checkout. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat, online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. Actor Nick Cannon has announced that he will be picking up where slain Grammy-nominated artist and documentary filmmaker Nipsey Hussle left off. The Free Thought Project reports that Cannon posted a photo of himself and Hussle to Instagram Monday, noting that Hussle will never be silenced and that he, Cannon, is going to pick up the baton to finish this marathon. Hussle was gunned down in front of his Los Angeles clothing shop Sunday afternoon. He had been working on a documentary about Dr. Sebi and his claims of curing cancer and AIDS, which caused many to speculate that the documentary was the reason for Hussle's murder. Cannon, on Instagram posts, proudly exclaimed that, quote, "They can't kill us all," end quote, and there is, quote, "unfinished king business," end quote. A pro-Israel New York lawmaker has prompted outrage by tweeting that Palestine does not exist, drawing criticisms of racism and Islamophobia. The Mind Unleashed reports the incendiary comments have come under heavy fire on Twitter And accusations of Islamophobic hypocrisy have been directed at U.S. officials, who have failed to denounce the comments in the same way they denounced Democratic Representative Ilhan Omar. Brooklyn Councilmember Coleman Yeager tweeted, quote, "Palestine does not exist. There, I said it again. Also, Congresswoman Omar is an anti-Semite. Said that too." End quote. Yeager's remark was part of a Twitter exchange with a blog writer. The author of the blog slammed the pro-Israel lawmaker for calling Congresswoman Omar an anti-Semite. Yeager hit back by repeating the racist trope that Palestine does not exist. The remark, along with the notion that there is no such thing as a Palestinian people, is part of a racist narrative that has been used to deny 11 million Palestinians their right to self-determination. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Hollywood's biggest stars are rallying for a good cause this week with the Save Our Children campaign. Celebs like Jessica Simpson, Brad Pitt, and Gwyneth Paltrow headlined a charity event to help their suffering kids who desperately need a chance to live a normal life. Angelina Jolie talked to Starfix about the charity, saying, quote, "You don't have to be a mother to want to help my children, many of whom are not getting a proper education. If you look at the numbers, 1 in 5 of my children will struggle with drug problems." Joining us now is a representative from the charity, Julie Harrison. Julie, it was such a great cause.
Absolutely. We're talking about children who don't have any positive role models. They're born into a life they didn't ask for, and if the state's not going to step up and help these kids, it's time someone did something.
Here's a quote from Victoria Beckham, and I found this powerful. "It breaks my heart to think about these kids living somewhere in my house with no hope for a happy future. Who knows if they even have food to eat?" Julie, according to your group's website, a staggering number of STARS children are being exploited growing up without parents.
Right.
This is the Onion News Network.
And now, live from the studios of Freedom's Phoenix, Ernest Hancock.
Believe me when I say we have a difficult time ahead of us. But if we are to be prepared for it, we must first shed our fear of it. I stand here without fear because I remember. I remember that I am here not because of the path that lies before me, but because of the path that lies behind me. I remember that for 100 years we have fought these machines. And after a century of war, I remember that which matters most. We are still here! Today, let us make them remember. We are not afraid!
Yep. We are here to declare your independence from me, Ernest Hancock, here in Phoenix, Arizona, from the BEA beautiful studios of Freedom's with an Ass, FreedomsPhoenix.com. Yep, that's better. Thought I was losing it. Well, the first time I even get a hint of a cold last night. It's just starting, it went all winter and everything, but I think I might have kicked it already. Well, we'll see. We'll just keep it at bay. Donna, yesterday I was just feeling kind of, I just don't feel that. And then I go, I know what this is. I might be getting sick. I remember that. But it's not bad yet. So, yeah, we'll be all right. What we're going to do today, Tempechote regularly going to come in. He'll be in the next hour. And there's some new, we did a Narcazona. Yeah, Narcazona was last Saturday in Sedona. It was awesome, and I got a lot of good things to say about it and tell you what's up. And from that, there's a lot of projects and things we're working on, and we'll start, sharing some details of where we're at on our projects and a lot of stuff. But there is some financial stuff that came to light that Tim will go over when we get here. Things that are, they keep changing stuff, moving goalposts, doing kind of, I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it. I went through, last week, I think it was, we went to the Wayback Machine, and we go 10 years ago. 10 years ago on Freedom's Phoenix, and we looked in the housing category, and it was the same date, 10 years ago, and the same headlines right before it took a dump. And they're going, oh, yeah, everything's great, 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 never been better, great, 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 pay no attention to the man behind the curtain, great, 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 don't worry about great. And I'm going, really? All right, well, I'm going to show you this. You go into Ann Archives, contents by subject, Ann Archives, contents by subject, and you get to this page, and I go, let's see, let's do housing. We can do economy too. Yeah, we'll do economy too. We'll go economy and housing. You go into H, you go scroll down to housing, got all these categories. This is just H. Housing, housing, housing. Howard Rourke, architect. Okay. Housing. Now, what is the date we're looking for? It's probably going to be 10 years ago, 19. So we do, let's say April. April Fools. So that was we had some fun with that. All right, April Fools on 2009. What are we looking at here? 8. Let's go up. Now, if we did economy, it would be the same thing. So we're 2009. Now we got, what's the date on here? 4/8. All right, we'll go back one page. Well, let's see how far back. Yep, 4/6. All right, here we go. This is the page. All right, start at the bottom here. Now go here. I'm just going to read some headlines, and you'll see what's what's going on. This is 10 years ago. This is April of 2009, okay? Southern California real estate, median price down 50% from peak in 2007. Predatory legislators, the ringleaders are still at large and are, in fact, busy hatching a plan to dwarf the earlier mistakes and doing more crap. Housing aid won't solve U.S. crisis. Robert Schiller, housing price still way too high. Phoenix real estate foreclosures surge in January. I have a friend, his wife is out, ex-wife, is out doing process serving. That's what she does, serving court papers. She says, man, it's all foreclosures. It's just, here we go. Case-Shiller Index, home prices decline 18.5% from last year. Home sales plunge again, falling to 12-year low. January new home sales at lowest level in 46 years. U.S. January pending home sales dropped 7.7% to record low. 1 in 5 U.S. mortgage borrowers are underwater. Taxpayers milk to delay foreclosures on overpriced homes. Real estate Case-Shiller and Carr analysis, February 2009 release. The largest percentage declines are Monterey County, where prices are down more than 70%, blah, blah, blah. National house prices. God, who wrote that? Jack Gregson. Yeah, Jack, man. He used to do a bunch of stuff for us. National house prices drop 3.5% in January. Protesters target U.S. foreclosed homes auctioneer. Loan should allow Missouri family to stay in cave home. What? Foreclosures up 30% in February. California's foreclosure activity surging again. Las Vegas home prices dropped to less than half of 2006 peak. Arizona real estate foreclosures outpace resale homes. U.S. housing starts surge. Inflation slower. Owners skulking away from underwater U.S. homes. A gay marriage solution to end marriage. What? What the hell does that have to do with it? Corporate meltdown leaves renters in limbo. Cities deal with Obamavilles. House prices in 20 U.S. cities fell by a record 19%. Phoenix, 10,635 notice of trustee sales in March indicate market plunge. From Mish, Shedlock, Case Schiller, March 2009 analysis. Meredith Whitney, whatever happened to her? House prices to fall another 30%. Mortgage delinquency on the rise. Homeowners walking away. Foreclosure shadow inventory reaches 600,000 homes nationwide. Okay, that is just from 4/8, all right, the 8th of April 2009, and the first story that I read off of here was end of February. So in about a month and like 6 weeks, those were the headlines. Now, if I go to the most recent, now that was out of 98 pages of just these stories, 98 pages, 98 times of what I just read. Okay, I got page after page. It's hundreds of this stuff. Just, hundreds. So I'm going, all right, so 98 times, how many is on a page? I think it's like 30, so it'd be like, 100. So it's like, 2,500 to 3,000 articles. Now, this is what is just the most recent. Now, all you heard there was, it's going to go. It's the lowest since, it's been 10 years since, oh my God, and it's, foreclosure is starting to burst up, and everything's going, and housing prices are plummeting. That's 10 years ago. Now we're starting almost exactly the same time, the end of February up to now. Now that housing bubble number 2 is bursting, how low will it go? Arkup's incredible floating home is finally complete. It has something else. Sell Your House by Ernest Hancock, December 31st, 2002. I put this up because I wrote this, right when I thought it was going to go. It was like 2003. I'm saying, man, here it comes. I can see what's going. Well, they kept lowering interest rates. So it held it off and held it off and held it off and held it off until, boom, it went. Is the same thing happening now? I think I'll hold it off and hold it off and hold it off, and then boom. But there's definitely a boom. Boom, 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 boom. Sell your house. 17, and this is what I wrote in there when I put it back up. 17 years ago, I wrote in the email to friends and fellow libertarians of my observations, which was days later published by Lou Rockwell. I've got the same observation now, and the conditions are so much worse, and time is running out. Tick, tick, tick. When we come back, I'll continue reading the headlines from now. Now remember, it's all foreclosures and dropping housing and the same as before, and legislators and bad stuff. From the third letter of Captain Mark. The Crown's observation conditions us to be dishonest with ourselves. Therefore, constant surveillance produces a society of constant deception. Honest communication is the seed of civilized conduct. To deny us this seed is to deny us its fruits. But the Crown's primary objective is to stifle free thought itself, to make its subjects incapable of dissent. Seasoned pirates have always encrypted messages and codes and ciphers, so intercepted transmissions were incomprehensible. But today the Crown possesses advanced tools of pattern recognition that document, profile, and predict our every move. Today, piracy requires hailing frequencies completely invisible to the Crown. We are tired of poltergeists in the static. Looking for a community of like-minded scoundrels, or just want some swag to let the Crown know what you think of it? Join the conversation at pirateswithoutborders.com.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
My name is Jacob Hornberger. I'm president of the Future of Freedom Foundation, which Congressman Ron Paul awarded for having an outstanding freedom website. Write us at fff@fff.org, and we'll send you a free 3-month subscription to our monthly journal of libertarian essays and our booklet, Economic Liberty in the Constitution. which George Mason University economics professor Walter Williams praised in a recent column. That's FFF at FFF.org.
Now that you've found the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM, you may want to help expose others to our great programs. To assist you in doing so, you'll find resources at promote.lrn.fm, including details on how to get a free bumper sticker, quarter-page flyers you can print out and distribute, banners for your website, as well as files that will allow you to make your own custom banners and graphics. Visit promote.lrn.fm and help bring new listeners to the Liberty Radio Network. That's promote.lrn.fm.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
Roads? It's the Ernest Hancock Show. Where we're going, there aren't any roads.
Oh, if this isn't an example of what I'm talking about. Okay. All right. Go back to the the categories that we have on Freedom's Phoenix, and I'm going back to Economy, Economics USA. They have international economics. I have economics of, kind of got to separate it out sometimes. So we have Economics USA, okay? Add USA. So you go in here, and where it starts off at, here we go. Are we heading into a depression? Let's see, 329, which is my birthday, which was Friday, okay? So 329. Go back to them. We're doing, from this weekend through to now, okay, 10 years ago. Are we heading into a depression? Well, J.P. Morgan Chase memo pushes cheats and tricks, and they're doing bad things and being bad people. Why the U.S. is collapsing by Rick Faulkner. Now, Rick is the founder of the Pirate Party in Europe. Now, you see a lot about Rick now and everything. This is 2008. This is 11 years ago. This is back. He started the Pirate Party in Europe was about 06, I think. And then in January 07 is when the Revolution started, the Ron Paul Revolution thing. So it kind of, a lot of pirate stuff went over here and we went over there. And then in Iceland, they kind of 16% of parliament elected was Pirate Party and everything. I went, what? So, this is kind of, we're overlapping. Now, Rick writes this. Now, when I go to this, why is the U.S. collapsing? Okay. Now, this is something that Pal Gamble put up. Now, normally we put up a lot of the actual article, and for whatever reason, he's probably just lazy or whatever. He didn't. He just did, a link to it. Okay. Now, I see down here in the bottom left, when I put over there, Falkvineyard.com, 08, why is the U.S. collapsing? Okay. I'm going, why? There it is. It took a while for this to come up. Now, when we went and it timed out and it didn't go from there, so I went and searching for it to see where an original thing of it might be. So it's on his site. I copy that. Now, I'm going to go ahead and fix this link because, it got changed or something. But that's why we have Freedom's Phoenix mid-page, so this stuff doesn't go away. I don't want this stuff to go away. So I'm like, man, don't let this stuff go away. So we create this, and I want to show you. Those of you that are on the video, I want you to watch. And this, because this is the tools that we're going to be giving everybody. Okay, this is something that I want you guys to see the power of Freedom's Phoenix, and we can even go back and fix and whatever. All right, so I'm going in. I logged in so that I could edit it. Boom. I edit it. I go in. I change. Well, that looks the same. Instead of .com, I think this one is .net. Yep, see, it's a .net thing, so he has more than one. Which the reason is because they take this. I do the same thing. You know, they take the stuff down. You know, I'm just going to do the whole thing. Screw them. Because I don't want this stuff to go away. It always goes into, you know, forever not hereville. And this internet censoring thing, and that's what we'll talk about today. Let me go ahead. Yeah, I'll go ahead and include his little bio here. Boom. 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 Nah, 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 nah. So, and another thing, what I found out is when you use Chrome, I got this on Firefox, a lot of times Chrome won't allow you to add, you know, the stories, or certainly if it has certain videos in it. Because if it's tagged, because they got YouTube and, you know, Google, Chrome, all Google. So what happens is you go, you know, I'm going to go ahead and put this in here and embed this video. And nope, can't do it. It won't let you embed. And I'm like, what? So I go to the Firefox, right? Yep, it'll go through there. There's so many different things that they're doing to prevent you from being able to share information. Now here, the connection timed out because it was a .com thing. I went and found the original article, but he had it also on his other .net page. So I pulled it from the .net page and put it in here, and now I got it. Nah, 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 nah. So there, I went ahead and fixed it to where there's the whole thing in there on the mid page, because screw them. Because now, by IPFSing and say over here, IPFS, by IPFSing Freedom's Phoenix, all this stuff is held forever. Now, from back in March 30th of 2008, Rick Falconer, the founder of the Pirate Party, you know, wrote an article in 2008, Why the U.S. is Collapsing. Now, how close was he? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Who cares? I want to see it. You know, I want it to be available. I want to have. Got it. There forever now. Nah, 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 nah. Kiss my. We're going to talk about that. So, anyway, I just wanted you to see this is going. Oh, I need to get some. So, let's go back here. There we go. Now, we're going in the economy of 10 years ago. Rick Falconer wrote, Why the U.S. is Collapsing might be interesting. U.S. business interest at risk from domestic spying. We heard that before. Presidential candidates plan to pour more gas on the fire. Of course, elect me. Congress readies activist housing agenda to get elected. Sometimes this is just green stuff that's coming and everybody gets a house and whatever. Sometime this morning, fascism will be officially proposed for America. Well, you can feel that coming. Southern California, land at 15 cents on the dollar. Here we go. Fed eyes nationalizing U.S. banks. Really? We haven't heard that one yet of late. Nationalize the U.S. banks. It's not nationalized already. I don't know what the hell it is now. But protest the Federal Reserve tomorrow. This is Powell was talking about some protests we had. Brace for $1 trillion write-down of Yertle the Turtle debt. Whatever the heck that means. The Paulson plan endorsed Fed's enhanced market authority. What? It could be Congress and the president essentially giving a blank check to a regulator over which they have very little power, said a professor at University of Maryland. His proposal will allow Wall Street to do whatever they want. Well, you know, if they don't already, here it comes. Let's see. 28 million Americans on food stamps as of November 2008. 28 million. That's, what is that? Over 10%? That's, 12% or so. That's a lot. Some homes worth less than their copper pipes. Ha! All right. Lehman raises $4 billion of capital to hush critics. All right. Now, this is same headlines we're getting now. Fed approves J.P. Morgan purchase of Bear Stearns Bank. IMF predicts U.S. recession. USA 2008, the Great Depression. All right. Ron Paul questions Bernanke at Joint Economic Committee. Ron Paul interviewed by Glenn Beck on the Fed and the economy. There is no gas shortage. Analysis see 200,000 banking industry layoffs. Now, this is something you've been hearing here lately, too. Lots of layoffs. Jobs, non-farm payroll declined 80,000 in March. Jobs, non-farm payroll, okay. Las Vegas pre-foreclosures hit record. This is another thing. It's always going to be Phoenix, Las Vegas, L.A., southwestern United States is where we get the big hit. It goes up like Florida, and then it takes a hit. So Las Vegas has always been and Phoenix has kind of been this precursor. So here it goes. So the point that I'm making is these headlines, foreclosures come to McMansion country. This is what
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveatpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveatpurse.com.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
After decades of searching the cosmos, today NASA announced that what it was really looking for was right here on planet Earth all along.
For years, we've foolishly chased after comets, moons, and stars. Outer space may be beautiful, but it's not as beautiful as the smile of a child, nor as sublime as a good bottle of wine shared among friends. Our search ends where it began, here on this big blue marble.
Astronomers say that while their telescopes were pointing at Mars, they never even noticed the planet that was right in front of them. NASA now plans to appreciate what they already have. The agency's latest report, entitled Wonder is Everywhere, Finding the Beauty in the Everyday, calls for further study of the little things that truly give life meaning.
Warm rain on a summer day, the smell of pine trees, touching the worn paper of your favorite book, that's what's always made us happy. Not some asteroid a million miles away.
This is the Onion News Network.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in Liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
Would you like to hang out with Penn Jillette? He's keynoting Freedom Fest this year. I, for one, am thrilled. Freedom Fest is the largest liberty-oriented gathering in the world. They take a Big Ten approach with libertarians, conservatives, liberals, anarchists, and just open-minded people mingling together to hear real debates, share real solutions, and converse freely. This year's theme is the Wild West, a time of liberty and opportunity, or a time of anarchy and violence. Maybe both. Go to freedomfest.com/FTL and get your tickets now. freedomfest.com/FTL. Not convinced yet? Hey, I understand. It's a high-end event, even with coupon code FTLEB. Sure, you're likely to receive investment advice that'll make that sum seem paltry, but I have something special for you. Go to freedomfest.com/FTL and you'll get the 5 best speeches from last year for free. Call it a test drive. Do yourself a favor and go to freedomfest.com/FTL. freedomfest.com/FTL. Use coupon code FTLEB for a discount.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
It's time for Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock. To be a part of the show, call 602-264-2800.
Okay, we're doing Wayback Machine. We're looking into the housing category from 10 years ago. And I remember, we have, Sell Your House by Ernest Hancock, December 31st. Sell Your House. Well, we go through all of these stories. It's just the same. I can feel it. It's the same. How America's most hated home loan is staging a comeback. Well, they're doing the same kind of crap again. New home sales down 6.9% from upwardly revised December. Expect more revisions. There's always revisions. They tell you whatever is going on, and then they revise. Now the revise is that Walmarts are closing. You see that? There's somebody being very, very quiet about it. And, Walmarts are closing, retail sales are down, brick and mortar are going out, and all of a sudden malls are turned into senior citizen retirement homes or something. I mean, housing slump. Foreclosure activity jumps in Austin, Miami, San Diego, and Seattle. And you almost get exactly the same cities in the headlines today. Same thing. Same. Real estate giant holding live luxury home auction for Bitcoin. Yeah, we've been seeing that too. This is now. Yeah, I'm going, damn, man, this sounds like headlines I just read. Yeah, it is headlines we just read. All right, let's see. U.S. housing hits a brick wall. The housing price deceleration is staggering. Okay, these are the headlines now. Remember, we just read, same stuff from 10 years ago. Too big to sell. Wealthy baby boomers are trapped in homes that are too big to sell. They want to downsize but can't get what they paid. Housing rebounds, hopes hammered as starts and permits plunge in March. This is 326 of this year. 326 also. CEO warning, the housing market faces the perfect storm. Housing starts dive 8.7%. Awful single-family stats in every region. Evidence stacking up that the surge in January was a one-hit wonder. Housing starts continued their volatile trend lower. Pending home sales tumble 4.9% year over year. 14th straight month of declines. I mean, it's the same kind of headlines I remember from 10 years ago. And it was even more, you could see it coming 2 years before that. That was 2009. 2007, I was screaming, here it comes. But that's when real estate and everything was peaking. Just like the stock market. Just like the stock market is now. It's all rainbows and roses, unicorns and pony rides. So nope, it's not. There's some fundamental stuff going on. Here we go. And a lot of us predicted this. When I did this Sell Your House thing, I'll just read this. As we started the new year in 2003, it was very unpatriotic to voice concerns about the U.S. economy and the wisdom of our leaders in a post-9/11 world. My concerns were written 17 years ago in an email to friends and fellow libertarians, which was days later published by Lou Rock.